Council President, we have 5.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Council President.
Good evening, Paterson. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. To my council colleagues, please have a seat. I'd like to start the meeting, call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, just so you know, before you call roll call, Councilman Kalik has had a death in his family.
Oh, sorry.
And it was all of the sudden, it was today earlier. So
Sorry to hear.
he probably said yes to the meeting, but, I'm sorry? Yes, absolutely. And with,
We give
it
you
is
our
custom
condolences.
that as soon as they pass, they do
They do, but yes.
all the preparations, okay?
Okay. Thank you for letting us know, Council President.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Hi, Eva. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Paterson Municipal Council, I welcome you to the regular meeting of the Municipal Council of September 28th, 2021. The meeting is now called to order. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call for Municipal Council regular meeting of September 28, 2021 at 7 p.m. Councilman Abdelaziz. Councilwoman Khan.
Here.
Councilman Jackson. Councilman Kalik. Councilman Mendez.
Good evening, Madam Clerk. Good evening, Paterson present.
Councilman Mims.
I am here.
Councilman Rivera.
Here.
Councilman Velez, welcome back.
I welcome myself. Thank you, Madam Clerk President.
Madam, I have to say that. Madam President.
Welcome back, Councilman Velez. I didn't really feel your absence at all, as although you were not in body in this council, you sure were connected to every meeting, and the phone was constantly ringing or there were texts. So welcome back, though, here, back to the chambers. Madam Clerk,
I'll continue.
my vote is yes.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm present.
Yes, I see you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Madam Clerk,
Yes, I'll continue,
Yes.
Madam President. This evening, we'll have with us to render the prayer, Mr. Ramon Pagan, and he's a Deputy County Clerk from Passaic County. And
Welcome.
also, to lead us in the flag salute, Mr. Frankie Roman, and he's President of the Passaic County Constable.
welcome,
Everyone-
Frankie.
Everyone, please rise for the prayer.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Let's pray. Dear loving Father, thank you for your greatness and goodness. Thank you for life itself. Thank you for loving us. Give us a heart of wisdom to always hear your voice and follow your steps. Almighty Father, we love you and we need you. Renew our spirits, fill us with peace and joy. Teach us that the way to forgive our transgressors as many times as needed. Oh God, bless our families, our city, all elected officials, and public servants. Querido Padre amado, gracias por tu grandeza y bondad, gracias por la vida misma, gracias por amarnos y darnos un corazón sabio para siempre escuchar tu voz y seguir tus pasos. Padre poderoso, nosotros te amamos y te necesitamos. Renueva nuestro espíritu, llénanos de paz y gozo. Muéstranos el camino para perdonar a nuestros transgresores cuantas veces sea necesario. Oh Dios, bendice a nuestras familias, a nuestra ciudad, a todos los oficiales electos y servidores públicos. Amén.
Amen.
Good evening, everyone. Please join me in saluting our flag. Hands across the arc. Pledge of allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you can please remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops and for all of those who have lost loved ones. A moment of silence. You may have a seat. Madam Clerk, before you read the statement of compliance, I'd like to just say thank you to the county commissioners on their recognition to me for Hispanic Heritage Month. I also want to thank, my colleagues that were able to make it. I know Councilwoman Mims just told me she didn't know anything about it. I didn't send any invites. They came from the county, but I truly do appreciate Commissioner Akhtar, Commissioner Bartlett, Commissioner Sandy Lazara, Director Lepore, Deputy Director Bruce James, Commissioner T.J. Best, and Commissioner Duffy. I'm sorry. I really appreciate everyone. Many times, we do things and we don't look for any recognition. But I will say that, after being part and working for Passaic County College for 28 years, to have been recognized, I was humbled and honored to receive today's recognition. And special shout out to, commissioners, Commissioner Barral and Dr. Barral. I see my other commissioner from Friends of Passaic County Parks, Mrs. Agosto, thank you very much. And Director of Health and Human Services, Ramirez, you've been doing a great job, and I also appreciate you being there as well. Madam Clerk, can you please read the statement of compliance?
Yes, Madam President.
Thank you.
Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law 2021 to 2022, meeting date September 28, 2021, time 7 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was compiled and disseminated in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law in the following manner. 1. The annual notice of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council was compiled for the year 2021 to 2022 on or about July 1, 2021. 2. A schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2021 to 2022 was duly transmitted on or about July 1, 2021 to the North Jersey Herald News, The Record, Arabic Voice, Italian Voice, Passaic County Pulse, Dominicana News, Crusader International, El Especial, Paterson Press, City Post News, and Tap into Paterson, in addition to any other publication duly requesting such notices. 3. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2021 to 2022 was prominently posted in the lobby of City Hall, first floor, in the place reserved for the announcements of this type. 4. The schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2021 to 2022 was duly filed with the Municipal Clerk. 5. A copy of the schedule of regular meetings of the Municipal Council was mailed to any person who requested, and it paid the fee authorized by the Open Public Records Act. Madam President.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. At this time, do I have a motion for payment of bills?
Into bills.
So payment of bills for September 28, 2021. We have total payments equaling $2,074,733.58. There's no payroll for this period.
Second discussion.
Okay, moved by Councilman Rivera and second by Councilwoman Mims. Discussion?
Just a quick question to our CFO. On page 105, in the descriptions there, the first two top items, there are two cellular phone payments for Verizon. They're for the exact amount, same check number, same time span. Is that an error, or is it two different time periods?
Two different time periods. It's just paid out of one check. It's 2 different months.
Okay, so is there any way that we can identify that? I know how it's here, but just by looking at it, it could appear to be an error. So I'm not sure what we can do to make the council aware, because we're not in the finance committee, but just so that we're aware that it's 2 different time periods, because it doesn't indicate that on the detail.
I can ask for them to put the month on the description.
Okay, thank you so much.
I think the other thing I'm going to actually ask is, I'm looking here at my tablet and I see 3 different payment of bills. So I'm trying to figure out, was that just that it was just scanned 3 times?
It was 2. The revised payment of bills, there's a payment for our bond counsel.
Okay, so we just read into the record,
The $2
our
million
finance
also-
chair said that 2,074,733.58. Is that?
That's
okay,
correct.
That's the correct one. Okay. Very well.
Council President,
Councilwoman Cotton?
On the last page, I see, truck purchase, 105,000. Is that for, rentals or lease payments? On page 5 of 5.
That's a truck purchase.
What kind of truck was that? What type?
I would have to look. I'm not sure what kind of truck it is.
Anybody have any idea?
what page is that?
A snowplow?
For the sweepers?
For the what?
Sweepers?
Oh, sweepers, okay.
Okay. If there's no more questions, roll call, Madam
Council
Clerk.
President,
Councilman Velez?
Council President, thank you. I see in page 1 of 1 on the back, it says outside service, and the items, the vendor is Communication Specialist, Inc. What kind of communication are they paying there? What kind of service they're using from that company?
Manavier?
And I will elaborate why.
I see that on page 4 of 5, the communication specialist. That looks like it's a radio purchase and maintenance. I think that was the contract that the council approved the contract for it.
So that's for the
9060,
portable,
that's what
that's
we
for the portable radios?
This is through 9060, which I believe is the OEM line. So it's probably part of the Pro Phoenix ramp-up.
So this is why I'm saying this, right? Is because today I was at one of the stores in the city of Paterson, a cell phone store, and the phone rings. And the young lady pick up the phone and says, City of Paterson. So it was a robocall from the mayor of the city of Paterson announcing the groundbreaking of the new project in the second ward, the hospital site, the new housing development from St. Joseph. And it was a nice, beautiful robocall. I recall, as council member here, recalling when we was deep in the pandemic, to use a robocall to advise our community where we was in the pandemic, what procedure to take, et cetera, et cetera. Now they're using the system to publish all the good things that this administration have been doing, especially in development. I don't see nothing wrong, but how we gonna use the system to do that and not use it for critical moments that we had passed in the city of Paterson? So the system had to be used wisely, especially when we're going to inform our community what's going on in the city of Paterson. So I advise to use it wisely. Thank you, Council.
Thank you very much, Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on payment of bills.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call on payment of bills in the amount of $2,074,733.58. Councilman Abdelaziz. Councilwoman Khan. Councilman Mendez,
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mims,
Yes.
Councilman Rivera,
Yes.
Councilman Velez,
Yes.
Councilman Abdelaziz? No. No. Madam President,
Yes.
the vote is 6 in favor, 1 against, 2 absent. Payment of bills is hereby adopted in the amount of $2,074,733.58.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, as always, when I'm asked by one of our directors, I do want to, and I understand that, there is another commitment. So I'm going to take item 27 on the non-consent agenda.
Number 27.
Actually, I'm going to take the consent agenda first, and then the non-consent, number 27.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is our non-consent agenda items 4 through 21. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the council and will be enacted by one motion. The items listed on the consent agenda are numbers 4 through 21. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda by the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate matter. Is there a motion?
Move it.
Move.
Moved by Councilman Mendez and second by Councilwoman Mims and Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on the consent agenda items 4 through 21.
Yes. Roll call on consent items 4 through 21. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Khan? Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera? Councilman Velez?
My vote is yes.
Councilwoman Khan?
You're next. He already voted.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 7 in favor, 2 absent. Consent items 4 through 21 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much. So, Madam Clerk,
Council President.
item 27?
Council President.
Yes, Councilman
I
Abdelaziz.
apologize. This slipped. I just want this on the record. I would have pulled it off consent number 21. We passed it, but I just have one question that I would like the administration to answer and put on the record. Please?
Councilman Abdelaziz.
Thank you. Madam BA, number 21 says we're going out for solicitation of bids for emergency snow plowing. So I know we're in September, but winter's around the corner. So I just want you guys to go on the record that you're preparing for the winter, that in case we have snow trucks not ready, snow plows that are broken, snow plows that go down, we're gonna have backups ready to go. Is that what this item's for?
Correct.
So
And that's,
I just want the record to reflect that this council has approved for them to go out in September. So residents, when you see the streets, hopefully they're plowed, but when they're not plowed, the council's doing their job. We're authorizing the administration. I know it's early, but I could tell, and listen, election time is a couple months before that, so you guys could go to this video for whoever's running.
Thank you very
In
much,
March.
Councilman
President.
Abdelaziz.
Council President,
Councilman Jackson, and then Councilman Velez.
Thank you, Council President. So while Councilman Abdelaziz is putting that on record, I would like to interject a piece that I think we're overlooking. The fact that the DPW department has not gotten the support that it needs. In fact, that from what I'm hearing from some of the workers there, especially the CDL drivers, is that one, obviously they still have not been fairly compensated, but I see this as a ploy to continue to overlook those hardworking individuals at DPW. And although, I mean, obviously we have to be responsible to the public when we have to make sure that snow is being plowed, but I can't but help to notice that Councilman of the 6th Ward noticed it first because his ward was the one that received the support from those third-party contractors during the heaviest snowstorms. So, Madam BA, I think, Council President, you should, I know we voted on this item already, but we should make it a point that the administration is gonna outline what's being done to support our DPW department, to make sure that these men who are working are fairly treated. It doesn't make sense that we'll go out for an emergency and pay drivers in excess to $50 to $60 an hour to come in emergencies, but we won't fairly pay the individuals that live in our community that have to support their families. This is just another embarrassing moment, in my opinion. And this council needs to hold this administration accountable on what's happening to the DPW department. We're down CDL drivers, and yet we're refusing to pay them fairly so that we can have adequate employees to make sure our community continues to run. The emergency thing is okay. As we continue to give more money, millions to outside contractors, paying all these outside people, you know, this is just another reason why Paterson is in the condition it's in.
Thank you very much, Councilman Jackson. Councilman,
I want to just echo two things, and this is directly to the administration. I don't want to hear again, this employee from DPW had to work this position or this job or this job or this job, and because they're not in that title, they don't get paid. I don't want to hear that. If you call them for duty, they should get paid, especially when DPW has been understaffing for many, many years. Second, you know, we are at the end of September. If you look at all the news going on, they predicted already that this is going to be the worst and longest winter in decades. So if you have that scenario already in the news, let's get ready. I know that my director, DPW, guy sit the chair of DPW, and he knows if I had to take my boots and my night rider out there and ride, I would do that. But we need to support them. We need to support them. And I understand this contract for emergency contract is due to notice is needed, but if we shift that money to equip them the right way, we don't need to go out there and get more contract for emergency snow plowing. So that's too common. Council President.
thank you. Thank you very much, Councilman Velez. Councilwoman Mims?
So I just want to put it back on the record. I completely agree with Councilman Jackson and Councilman Velez. I have introduced to this administration some months ago a competitive pay scale rate analysis that identifies that 457 of our employees are paid below $20 an hour. And there are some of those employees that work for the city for over 15 and 20 years that are making below that rate. And I am asking, and at this point demanding and pleading with the administration to take the PowerPoint presentation that I gave to them months ago and take it serious. We expect a lot out of our employees, and not just DPW, but other workers that have worked around the clock, and we want them to work really hard, but we don't want to pay them. But we bring in people at top salaries, and we give all these benefits and accolades to them. But the people that are on the ground every day, that live in the city, and they give a return on the investment, we do not treat them the way they need to be treated. So I am asking once again that the competitive pay scale analysis that was presented to the administration be yet looked at once again, not in negotiations for contract, but in addition to, as an addendum to what they're being paid, which is not to the pay scale that they deserve. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Mims. I forgot to do this in the beginning, and truly my apologies. Council members, as you know, we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. All of the decorations that were done here, I want to thank a special shout out to Audrey for making it look beautiful always, and also to Madam Clerk and the entire staff for assisting as well. So I'm sorry, I wanted to put that on record. Councilwoman Cotton, just please let us be mindful. I started this meeting by saying that the director has asked me that he does have an engagement that he needs to be at, and he asked for his items to be put forth first. So let us just be mindful, because he will need to leave here in the next 15 minutes.
You gotta leave?
Councilwoman Cotton.
You have to leave?
No, not me, the director.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Councilwoman
Oh,
Cotton.
Director, you have to leave. Okay, I just want to say, I hear everyone speaking, but, you know, I think that sometimes I talk about climate change, and I talk about what's happening here in this United States of America, throughout the country, throughout the world. Things are changing, and there's no telling when we might see another Hurricane Ida around the corner from us. And I tell you right now, we better try to start getting ready, because it's coming. It's coming. They say the winter's gonna be havoc. So I just want to put that out there to the community. It's happening. You know, there's things that's happening in the city that has never happened in the 60 years that I've been here. I have seen so much stuff change in the 60 years that I've been living here in the city of Paterson. So I just want to put that out there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, item 27.
Yes,
under
Madam
non-consent.
President. Next item in the non-consent agenda is item number 27. Item number 27 reads resolution authorizing the award of contract to Paramus Ford / All American Ford for purchase of one Ford 2021 SUV 1-4 engine 10-speed auto transmission vehicle, Department of Public Works Resolution 21521.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Mendez and second by Councilwoman Mims and Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 27.
Roll call on item number 27 for approval. Councilman Abdulaziz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Khan?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Director, how we have it in the lot already, okay? After we approve it, that we have it in the lot already when we approve it. My vote is yes.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 8 in favor, 1 absent. Item number 27 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much. Okay, so Madam Clerk, I think we'll just continue with
Second reading.
the non-consent. Item 22nd.
Council President, I'm asking that item to be removed, item number 22 to be removed.
Okay,
Okay, just for the record, item number 22 is taken off?
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Very well. Item 23.
Next item is item number 23. And item number 23 reads, resolution authorizing the solicitation of bids for Hinchliffe Stadium stabilization and rehabilitation, Phase 2 bid, number 22.06, the Division of Historic Preservation of the Department of Economic Development, Resolution 21517.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Mendez and second by Councilwoman Mims. Discussion?
Yeah.
We had to discuss it.
Yes, Council President. You know, I was watching the meeting last time regarding this item. I had a few questions. The director called me today. I hope he was gonna ask me if I have any concern regarding it. But really, I'm really concerned about when they presented the Hinckley Stadium project, and they presented the preservation of the Hinckley Stadium, all right, on Phase 1. If you go through there, they knocked down a lot of walls. They had changed totally the structure of Hinckley Stadium. You know, some people drive through there and they ask me, and this is honest truth, what happened with the walls, the new mural, the mural that was painted there, that they supposed to preserve the surrounding of Hinckley Stadium. That, I think the amount of money that is being spent here, matter of fact, knock down the whole Hinckley Stadium and put a new giant stadium there probably, right? But I have concern about that Phase 2 situation, especially we are probably at the dead end of completing the project, because we just see dirt all over.
So Councilman,
Madam President.
Councilman
Yeah.
Mendez.
Thank you, Madam President. Director.
As the chair.
Thank you. As the chairman of the Economic Development, we have a very extensive discussion about this Phase 2 renovation of the stadium, which is, we're going to be spending around $700,000 on the Phase 2. We're going out for a bid So that means that we might have a different company doing the facade for the phase 2. But the company that's still, the building, that's doing the project, they also have the right to participate on the project. But I will repeat what I mentioned to you at the Economic Development Committee. My concern of not seeing local company participating in this type of project is a problem to me. When we're going out for bid, this is the time where we have to have all those local companies participating in this process. So through the chair to Corporation Council, I would like to take this opportunity to request the creation of a resolution about a job fair for any entity that coming into the city of Paterson and start handling this type of project, to allow them to put together some type of health fair to bring all those companies, local companies together to be able to participate in those projects. So I'm trying to, the goal that I'm trying to accomplish is to let the administration know that we have so many big companies in Paterson locally that they never had the opportunity to participate in any project. We're spending almost $100 million fixing the stadium. And I would like to know how many companies from Paterson are working on that? Zero. And we're spending $100 million. That have to change. Fifth Ave project, another company from outer state is the one handling that. So if we're gonna fix Paterson, we gotta fix Paterson with our community. And I truly believe in local company to participate in those type of projects. So Corporation Council, I would like to hear from you. It could be after the vote. I know this is plain and simple. We're going out for a bid for phase 2 renovation, but at the same time, this is the moment for us to have this conversation. We cannot continue investing money in our city and leaving our local company out of the game.
Council President?
Councilman Jackson.
Thank you. So I appreciate that, Councilman Mendez, obviously picking up on where I left off last week with this, but my concern is this. Why would we vote on an item before the answer was given? I asked the question last week, and we talked about it last week, where there's only 3 Paterson people working on that job. There has not been a report of how many. The promise of this project was that we're going to create jobs. So if it's going to create 3 jobs now, and we're talking about when this project is finished, it's probably going to create a total of 9 or 6 to 9 jobs. So we spent $100 million to employ 12 people. And that's not being responsible. This council should be demanding answers before we make the approval. Once we approve this, as we do everything else,
Councilman
we approve
Jackson, we already approved. That's why, I mean,
No,
we
we're getting
continue.
ready to vote on it now.
No, we already approved the monies. This is specific for the solicitation of bids.
Okay, so if we don't, if we don't allow the solicitation of bids until we formalize and create a process that's going to guarantee, then they have to pause. They can't continue the project. So we have to utilize our power to holding them accountable. If we just say, oh, well, the money's already approved and we got to keep approving it, then what makes them hold it, what holds them accountable? But anyway, I mean, you guys can move forward as you please. I will, do as I normally do. I would not support this because there's a commitment that we gave to our community. We talked about this. The administration touted that this thing was going to create jobs. What jobs has it created? None. Anyway.
Councilman Velez.
As Council President stated, yes, we approve and to move forward with to spend this money in the Hinckley Stadium. But I'm looking at the back of entertaining this resolution. I'm looking at the back. Says phase 1 is construction project area shows in red. Hinckley Stadium vacant rehabilitation phase 2 construction project area shows in blue. But Director, I have a white and black paper. I don't know which one is going to be phase 1 and phase 2. If you have a color, at least point out if it's the front of Liberty Street, if it's Maple Avenue, which one are we going to scope of work?
In the memo, I think it lays out all of the part of phase 2, which also spells out the budgetary allotments that are tied in with the signage. And so the idea is to use the 2 funding sources that we got, again, grants to help do the signs. And it's always been counted for in the total capital stack that's associated with the project. And as it relates to the job structure, we're just getting started. Our commitment and the RDA clearly spells out that 20% of the jobs has to be local. And we're going to do that. Our commitment is to that, absolutely. And we also have commitments to unions as well.
So in other words, you're telling me this is only for the signs?
It's for the facade that's
The
on the
facade.
side,
Oh,
as
the
well
facade.
as with an
facade.
emphasis on the hinge lift signs themselves.
On the one that has
Because
a
they're
big square in
significant.
the front between the corner
Correct.
Liberty Street? Oh.
Correct. And I think there was another picture that was had better color.
Okay.
All right.
Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 23.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call on item number 23 for approval. Councilman Abdulaziz.
Director, I can't wait till this project gets done. As we can see in the city of Paterson, our youth needs places to play, right? We always have people come in front of us asking us for field opportunities, and we don't have field opportunities. So I look forward. I like seeing the dirt there. I like seeing the construction workers there. All I know, we're going to talk about this and talk about that, but 100% of our youth will have opportunity to play when this dormant site has been vacant forever. I know the high school team sharing a stadium and a field house in the third largest city of Paterson is unacceptable. So this is another step forward of getting this job, this project done. And I look forward to one day cutting the ribbon and watching games at this site, seeing our youth play. My vote is yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to say that back in 1998, I was going to talk about my years of being in the city. My son played with the junior state Colts football at Hinchcliffe Stadium. And it was kind of in bad shape kind of then, but they still was using the field. They still was using it with the concession stand. I had said many times already, you know what, I may not be around here when we finally do see it finished. You know, I hope I am, you know, that I'll be able to see it after 25 years, 22 years of it not being used. And this is to go out for bid. And I know that what some of the council members are talking about, things have been put in place. To me, I think it's a matter of making sure that we got somebody on staff here to make sure that when these bids come back in and these contracts are given out, we have to have, Councilwoman Mims talks about it all the time, a project manager. You can't have a person overseeing 10 projects. It's just almost impossible. You can't do it. They have to focus on 1 or 2 projects at a time. Hopefully, you know, we'll be able to get that done so everyone can be fairly treated when some of these bids are coming back in, because I know we have something already done. We already have something in place to make sure, but it's a matter of who we gonna have to oversee it, who we gonna make sure that's gonna get it done, who's gonna be there to do that. And I understand what project management means, because you got a $20 million project, somebody gotta watch it. You know, it's like opening up the roads and they put the wrong tubing in there, they put the wrong equipment, but you don't realize that until 10 years later. Then the road done fell apart because the wrong stuff, because nobody was watching what went inside of it. So hopefully that we'll be able to make sure we put this in place when the bids come back. You know, we don't have the privilege as council members to see, you know, and with the state, the way they go, the lowest bid wins. Not to say the lowest bid is the best one, but that's just the way it is. The lowest bid wins, and they may not be the best company, but so hopefully we'll get started with some of the stuff. So with that being said, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Well, I'm interested and I'm excited about feeding my children tonight. My kids have expensive tastes. I go home and ask my kids, well, Dad, can we go to Burger and Lobster? My 6 or 7-year-old eats lobster. She loves it. I'm not going to spend $200 on a lobster that I know costs $30. I'm not going to spend $25 on a $2 burger. You still have to be responsible to the spending, and we have to be responsible to the public. When we make promises that certain projects that we're spending money on is going to create jobs, it is the responsibility of this council to make sure it happens. The checks and balances happens here. Every single person we hire is from outside the city. We're diminishing our DPW department. I implore any of you in the community, please take a ride to the DPW department on 18th Avenue, 16th Avenue. Just go through there. Look at the deplorable conditions that they're working under, but yet we're spending millions and millions of dollars every day on outsourcing work. We pay guys who come in here with a rake and do blacktop. We pay them $80, $90 an hour. We pay people to come in here and do this type of work, and we pay them excessively, but we don't ensure that our people are getting jobs. Now, I'll say this, and I apologize, Council President, but many people could say a lot of things about Marty and Joey Torres. But when the Center City Mall was built, 85% of all the workforce was Paterson people. Paterson people. Church, when you get up there for the public portion, please reiterate that and quantify that. Make sure that people know that we have Paterson people that was working on the mall. If they may not have had experience in the area, they did the training, and they made sure that they were paying fair, reasonable rates. I can't support something that's not going to support my community. We have to hold people accountable to their promise. My vote is no, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Mendez?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. On this resolution, we're voting to go out for a bid for the second facade of the stadium. And I'm just gonna keep, the stadium is almost done. Those resources, those almost $100 million, they're ready right there in the stadium. There's nothing we can do about it, but I refuse to continue sitting here and just looking at the same situation repeated over and over, and having multiple projects like Fifth Ave, like the stadium, and not having the participation of local company. And I'm gonna say that we're not looking for a handout. I know that, I know my community. We have so many big companies that are doing business out of state, in New York City, and they don't have the opportunity to do business in Paterson. When we hire those local companies, the community growth because the money stay in the community. It's simple as that. It's plain and simple. So, as I mentioned to you, Corporation Council, so what I'm looking for is to see a resolution that we could get a compromise and make sure that we enforce this, and just make sure that every developer that we get in the city that is getting from this type of project put together a job fair to bring all those local companies, encourage them to apply. That's all we want to. We don't want to hand out, just to give the opportunity to local business to get in those projects. With that being said, I definitely will support this. We're going to offer a bid, and I'm definitely looking forward to see the stadium done. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Mims?
So first, I think there's great dialogue that's going on. I always go back to the fact that Hinchcliffe was not just a singular effort. It was a collaborative effort from every level of government, national, federal, county, state, local, county, everyone was involved in this particular project, which is a historic item in this great city of Paterson. It is one of only, there's only two in the entire world, stadiums such as Hinchcliffe Stadium that has the seats that are here. It's historic. This project has been approved. We're gonna get these type of items before us because there's solicitation of bids to ensure the work. I have a recommendation to our director and to the business administrator. With all of the projects that have been approved by this council, I think it would be advantageous if we would get a list of all the projects that have been approved and where we stand on those projects. Are we within budget? Are we within the scope of the projects? Are we delayed? Because if we don't have that information, we're gonna get to a cliffhanger where there's a possibility that more money may be needed for a project because we're off, out of scope of it. Also, that relates not just to Hinchcliffe, but for roads that we've approved that are not paved, what does that look like? But I think this council deserves that. We've approved a lot of items, but as far as where they stand, we definitely need to see that and where we are. So I'm putting that recommendation on the floor, and I hope that we can have that by or before our next council meeting. With that stated, I was in the Economic Development meeting on yesterday, covering for Councilwoman Cotton. Councilwoman Cotton, she took my note away. I've been requesting project managers from the very beginning of coming to the council. They are very, very, very much needed, not just for Hinchcliffe, but for every layer of work that we are doing in this city. So I pray that we continue to have the right oversight and accountability on these projects to make sure that our residents get exactly what they deserve and a better quality of life. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Rivera?
So, what are we voting on right now? We're voting on a bid, right? If we want, we have talked about the same thing forever. If you want local contractors to bid, then try to get them prepared to bid. I remember in the past talking to Harry, which is the purchasing agent, and he has, met with some contractors to explain to them what they need to get it done. Now, we're complaining, advertise it. They're advertising it right now. It's gonna go to bid. Any company in Paterson could bid on this, and the contract will go to the lowest responsible bidder. That means the company has to have all the requirements, the staff and the equipment to handle the job. So I don't know what we're complaining about at this point regarding this resolution. I'm in agreement. I would like to see more companies in Paterson get their contracts, but there's a process. If they don't apply, they cannot get it. There is no way that they could get a contract if they don't put in for it. And that's what's frustrating, sitting here on the council. Yes, it sounds good to the average viewer at home. It sounds good. It's just, talking and talking and talking. Doesn't get anything accomplished. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Velez?
We speak every time about developer agreement, and director spoke about 20% responsibility of them to hire employees from Paterson, individuals from Paterson, correct? So my recommendation, humble one, let's have in the personnel department somebody that could hire those individuals, that 20%, and hire them based on the skill that they need to do the project. The same way that we hire for DPW, the same way we hire for any division in the city, let's have that division and have a project manager hire them based on the qualification is to remove cement, if it's to put a block, if it's to pave something, let's manage that, right? But that could be down the road. But what we have in front of us, and I have to commend Joe Franco, because to be able to get $700,000 in grants, you need to lobby. You need to lobby. This is not taxpayers' money. Let me clarify that. It's not taxpayer money, it's grants that came up forward from the National Park Service African-American Civil Rights Site Funds. Also came from grant from the Passaic County Historic Preservation. And adding both of them, it creates a $700,000 to complete at least a project that costs $1.4 million, and we still short to make it beautify the Hinckley Stadium. And we all on board. And since the beginning of this, we want to see the Hinckley Stadium the way that we want to see it, and our kids will enjoy it, and the venues and the revenues somehow comes to Paterson. So, saying that, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Madam President.
I am in full agreement with Councilman Rivera, our finance chair. We tend to sometimes say things, and it sounds good, and even, members in the audience and watching, everyone here has a point, right? But the reality is exactly what the chair said, that there is a process. who better than I would want to see, you know, that all jobs that are created, they're created in Paterson for Pattersonians. You know, these jobs specific to development do not go through our personnel department. That is not, they're not working for the city of Paterson per se. But with that said, you know, enough has been said here today. I'm looking forward, and thank you, Councilman Velez, for mentioning Gianfranco, all right? Because clearly, I'm sorry, Director Powell. I'm just saying because, listen, you're the boss, right? But you got people out there championing and doing a lot of work, all right? So they're making you look good, too. But anyway, with that said, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. The vote is 7 in favor, 1 against, 1 absent. Item number 23 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much. At this time, it's 8 o'clock. Madam Clerk, I'm going to open up the public portion.
Yes, ma'am.
How many
There are
speakers do we have?
6 speakers.
Okay, very well.
The public portion is now open, and our first speaker is Ms. Razak. Ms. Eva, please state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Eva Razak, 388 East 35th Street, Paterson, New Jersey, first floor. I was here to ask information, but Mr. Mendez addressed to me what is being taken care of fixing the matter on my ward. But on behalf, I wanted to say, because I didn't come last week, but I wanted to say thank you to everyone who did the event up at the Pennington Park, because I was so proud of taking my recycling container home. Oh, no, amen to that. You have to use recycling. And also just the bulbs that they were giving us to plant. That's something, I got something to say, guys. It sounds out of the box. We Pattersonians need more events for people to share with one another, meet one another, greet one another. We've been missing the true essence of who we really are in Paterson. We're good people. There's hardworking people. There's people who really care. There's other bottom feeders. Oh, you got a lot of them. But you have good, hardworking, care people. And I know I'm one of them. And when I get invited or I see stuff, I feel good because you interact with people. Something that I wanted to say that really took my heart. When I saw, I didn't even recognize that it was her, but if I'm not mistaken, it was the mayor's wife that was sitting there, and she was reading some books to the kids. Wow, you're by us doing this with the Hitchcliff Stadium also, we need that for our kids. We need more things for Paterson. There's money that is coming to the city. I'm not a politician, because you guys know that I'm just Eva, but there's money that is coming to the city. Where the hell is it? Where the hell is it? Why is it not being given to the places and the people and the places that need to get built? That needs to get built. Not only that, who the hell am I to say this to you guys? But if we don't all stick together, then what? As council members up there, if you guys don't share information among you each others, or I'm not doing this with that one and I'm not doing this with that one, you guys got problems. Because we all need each other. Not because if we look at each other, if everybody was to look like me, boy, there's a problem. We're all unique, we're all different. There's a masterpiece. Let's make the city what it was once. I remember, I told you guys, I was kidnapped when I was 2 years old. I've been in this town 53 years. And I'm from Paterson, boo. I'm from here. And I'm not just Puerto Rican. I'm for all, because there's not one piece of here in me that I'm racist, nothing. I share, I care. You guys haven't seen me out in the mix because I got hurt, and there it is, but damn it, I'm here. And I want to see our city prosper. I want to see you council members say, you know what, I'm a war leader, this is what's happening in this ward, let's get it done. Let's not waste no time, let's not play games, let's not, we ain't got no time for With that being said, I thank you guys, and I pray for all of us, and I wish we all stick together, we all share, we believe, we have faith, and let's get the city moving, because this city is just, I drive in the city, and I feel sad. We don't need that. We don't need that, because we got strong people here who care. And Mr. Mendez, once again, thank you for the information that you had given Ms. Long, for the information that you guys are doing and everybody else. And let's make the city jump again, guys. Let's not do favors for people. Let's love and accept one another and nurture us. And if you're hungry and I got it, you got it. So let's all have it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am. Next speaker, Mr. Teague. Please state your name and address for the record, Mr. Teague. Thank you.
Good
Corey
evening,
Teague.
Commissioner.
Corey Teague, 65 Prince Street. Good evening, Madam President, members of the council, administration. I had two announcements I wanted to make tonight. The first one was the Mega Fest that we have coming up October 8th through the 10th, and that's going to be in Prospect Park. And I have some flyers. I believe Elvis has some flyers as well. And, we're just trying to bring some events to this local area. And this is a Passaic County Gospel event. So it's not just for one city, but it's for all of the counties, or all of the cities in this county. Next announcement I'd like to make is that, I know a lot of you saw some articles that were surfacing and about special education. I want you guys to know that I was on a Zoom call with some of my advisors at Berkeley College, and they would like to let me start a group which could eventually turn into a club in the school for parents, students who have children with special needs as a support group to help them get through doing their classes and their work in school while they're trying to advocate on behalf of their children. So, and this is going to take place real soon. They're sending me the paperwork to get it registered. I'm going to extend that to the city. So once we get it started in Berkeley, I'm going to extend it out to the city of Paterson so that all the residents who have children with special needs will be able to have a support group. We're going to have a message board. We're going to have a Facebook page. I'm not going to run that. I have enough stuff that I'm doing. Somebody else is going to operate that page, and there's going to be a message board. There's going to be forums that we're going to have. We're going to have online courses and classes, and we're going to provide a safe space for parents who go through these issues every single day. I've been advocating on behalf of special needs children because I do have a child with special needs, and so it's near and dear to me because I deal with it every day, 24 hours a day. Those of you who have special needs children, it's not an 8 to 4, it's a 24-hour-a-day thing. I just want to give a shout out to my daughter, Kanaya. She's going to be 16 in November. She is at the top of her class at Garrett Morgan High School right now. She is pulling A's, straight A's. I'm gonna catch up with her. I got all A's and 1 B, so I'm behind her right now. But I'm gonna catch up to her. But I want to encourage you all: do not ever let your children think that there are limitations. I don't care what they're dealing with. I don't care what they were classified with. There are no limitations. Let them go as far as they want to go in life. Okay? So reach out to me. Maybe about a week or two, I'll have more information for the public about that support group. But we're going to make this happen because we have to stick together as one unit, all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker is Mr. Elvis Durham. State your name and address for the record. Thanks.
Mr. Elvis Durham, 283 Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey, the third largest city in the state of New Jersey. I was sitting here listening to everyone, even this young woman right here. First, yes, we need a lot of more events going on in this city. I always speak about it. This is the third largest city in the state of New Jersey. We don't have community center buildings, no performing arts center buildings, but we have a brain we could create. And most of y'all, when y'all was in high school, y'all was in the musical band. So help us create. And I don't have to ask for help. I have a music production company, and this is what we do. I have reached out to Louis Velez, councilman, reached out to Councilman Michael Jackson, reached out to Ruby Cotton, Councilwoman Ruby Cotton, my councilwoman, for the Christmas concert. We are, my production and other folks, Bishop Dolores Green, and other people I have creating Christmas concerts in the city of Paterson, because Newt have it all the time. So why we can't have it? Third largest city in New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Let's take their spotlight this year. So I'm gonna tell y'all more about the Christmas concert when it get closer. But today I'm going to promote the Mega Fest. I would like for the Paterson, New Jersey, to recognize my production. I'm not asking for no award. I'm not asking for no pat on my shoulder. Just recognize EDOM production. We've been around since 1996, doing a lot of great things in this city. Recognize us. I thank God for Ruby Cotton, Councilwoman Ruby Cotton, Councilman Michael Jackson, Councilman Otis Mendez, Councilman Luis Velez, always support Council President Marissa Daria, support my events. And to say all that, Elvis Durham Outreach Music Productions presents Passaic County MegaFest. MegaFest. So do y'all know what MegaFest is? Passaic County MegaFest. It's big, huge. The theme is the storm is over. The storm is over. And it's 3 nights, 3 days. October 8th, 7 p.m. October 9th, 7 p.m. October 10th, 4:30 p.m. at Redeem Fellowship Center on 292 North 8th Street, Prospect Park, New Jersey, in Passaic County. And I would love to see my city councilors in Paterson to be in the building. I would love to see y'all there because at the end of the day, I am a promoter. To the ones that don't like me, respect me. Just respect me. I'm a promoter. I've been promoting since 1996. I am a high school graduate. I graduated out of Eastside High School, class of 98. 98. I could tell you about Hisco Stadium. Hisco Stadium closed down in 1995. It closed down. I wasn't able to graduate at Hisco Stadium. Okay? Do I want to see Hisco Stadium get fixed up? Yeah. But at the same time, do it right. There's a lot of people out here need jobs. More jobs, less problems. Okay? And that's come with the entertainment. I would love to have MegaFest at Hisco Stadium. I am a promoter in this city. You know what I'm saying? I got over 28 years promoting gospel music. You know what I'm saying? So just want to say, y'all doing a great job, but it's time for us to work together. Work together. That's how you build. You know what I'm saying? And now that's my music production. EDOM Productions. Right here in Passaic County. God bless you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker is Mr. Watson. Please state your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Keith Watson, 341 East 31st Street. See a lot of people coming to talk about the Incliff Stadium in Paterson and the third largest city. I'm saying, we have 9 councils, we have the administration. Do we really realize that we are living in the third largest city? 1 hospital, 400 police officers. Is that any comparison to Jersey City or Newark? Where is the vision? Where is the direction that Paterson is going is in the wrong direction. For years, who is going to stand up with a vision to change that direction? The quality of their life is keep going down. You have other cities that is detaching themselves from us and calling themselves Woodland Park and putting up sign every time you come, it's slap in your face. We're glad to get away from the stigma. The crime is on the rise, and we still not trying to come together to hire more police officers. When are we going to do that? I remember when I was living on West Broadway, we used to have a skating ring. A lot of y'all don't know that. We used to have a skating ring. CCP project was my playground. I mean, we had basketball court. I mean, we used to play touch football. That's where John Curry and Lynette Lyde and Linda, we all was there. But I was on the 426th Street, I mean, School 21, School 26, those playground was, and then we run over to Burger King and grab a burger. We used to ride our bike, say, where is the vision? That's what I'm asking, where is the vision? You got the Family Dollar coming in Paterson over there right in front of my church, and if I've been sending pictures to Ruby Cotton and to the director and to the mayor, all these boxes of the flood came and we had to be taking up everything off the floor with our hands. Where is the vision? When you go, my wife working in White Coffin, when you go over there, if there's a pothole today, by the next week you drive there, it's covered. You got guys in the night of 6 o'clock come to pick up the garbage and everything and clean the city up. I remember back in the days, Friday, Saturday, downtown Paterson was like Christmas. People coming from all the way from Bergen County to shopping here. Where is the vision? I talked to a friend in Long Island. I'm like, yo, I'm from Paterson. And he's like, oh, it's bad over there, right? That's the first thing pop out of his mouth. A Jewish friend of mine. It's bad over there. I see it in the news. Everything is bad about Paterson. Where is the vision to change the direction of Paterson? Who's going to stand up and say, I have the vision? Who's going to lead the people? Who's going to deliver us from what we're going through and where we're going? We kicking the can down the road every time we come here. We talk, everybody dressed in suit and tie, and we come here, we articulate and we eloquent. But where is the vision? Somebody got to come up and say, guess what? I'm going to change. We're going to stick together as a council, as a group, and say, guess what? Paterson, we're going to change the direction. Help the director and get some police on the ground, and pay these DPW workers. Come on.
Thank you very much, Mr. Watson. Next speaker, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker, Mr. Sue, David Sue.
Good evening, council members,
Good
staff. David Sue, 34 Van Houten Street. I'm kind of following up on my last time I was here with talking about Berkshire Avenue and the application from 555 Preakness in Totowa, and that the residents there feel that they've been harmed and are trying to litigate against the last zoning board of adjustment approval in Totowa. And I had asked if the city of Paterson is going to join with the residents. There's an this Friday is the filing deadline for the lawsuit. And I just wanted to kind of express something that I was just recalling. Now, I've litigated against applications in the city of Paterson, perhaps more than anybody else in the public interest. Whenever there's been an application that was somehow connected to the city of Paterson, whether it be the ATP site with the Regan Development Corporation or the Vistas project, litigating against that, it occurred to me that in each of those instances, although we were suing the applicant didn't go to court. The applicant didn't brief. They didn't send an attorney. They didn't make any arguments. Nothing. The city of Paterson defended the application. They paid for all the legal fees, all the costs, all the expenses, and the applicant stayed home. Some of them, I don't even know if they were a business. The one on the Vistas, when I paid to serve them with papers for the litigation, they delivered it to their business address. It was a vacant lot. And I told the council this, and still, I talked to corporation counsel at the time, no, we have to defend it. We have to fight it. Now here is the reverse. We have another town, or not, maybe not the reverse, but here we have a town neighboring to Paterson. This would never be built if the neighborhood below this property was Totowa. They didn't even let the resident's attorney present his case on behalf of his clients. How more unfair could it be than that? So I'm asking, is the city going to join? Are they going to stand behind their residents, taxpayers? Some of them, I talked to one gentleman, he's been living there since 1962. That's the year I was born. I'm 59 years old. So you stand, the council, the city, standing with out-of-town developers every time. Residents of the city of Paterson, I want to know, what are you going to do?
Council President, I'd like to make a motion for us to draft the resolution in support of these residents in that area and move that the council collectively join in a litigation process against this developer.
So, Councilman Jackson,
Yes?
I think we have to be very careful, okay? You're asking for something where we need counsel to advise us if that is something that we would like to do, and if we can do it, okay? To join on litigation, I mean, I'm no lawyer here, so I'm not gonna put myself in a position to speak on something right now. I know Mr. Sue has come here already, and, you know, I actually, when he was done, I was going to ask Corporation Counsel, Madam BA, about some of the things that he came here the last time, which was Berkshire was one, and yes, the second was about joining the litigation, but that is something that I would refer to our counsel. With that said, are you done?
Well,
I mean, I know you're not done, but.
no. Look.
I'd like for the administration to be able to answer after we have one more speaker.
I can make it very brief. You can join. The city of Paterson has an interest. They were notified of the application. The property is 0 lot line to the city, and as such, you're able to join. At this point, it's just the filing. And you could submit the same brief or the same complaint that the residents are submitting, and then after that, it's going to be a while. There's going to have to be a court date and motion to show cause and all that stuff. So you can decide what you want to do then, and you can always withdraw.
Point of order.
But this would get you your foot in the door. Anyway, thank
Councilman
you very
Jackson,
much.
there is no point of order. We're
There's a
in the
motion on the
public
floor,
portion.
Council President. It has to be answered to. There's a motion on the floor.
Councilman Jackson, there is no point of order when we're in the middle of of our public portion.
Council President,
I've
a
said that
motion
I'm
can be
going to
made.
ask the administration to address the two things, the two main things, okay? So I'm not dismissing you at all. I'd like to take the last person, and then I'm going to
Council
have.
President, with all due respect, once a motion is on the floor, we have to have an action. right?
Absolutely not, Councilman. We're in a public portion.
It doesn't matter what portion we're in. There's always the capacity to bring forward a motion.
Council President, public portion wasn't closed, so therefore no voting can occur until
I
public
understand
portion is
that.
closed. So
Thank
I
you.
agree with you. There is no point of order until we close the public portion.
Thank you.
This moment, this council is designated for the public to speak. And once we close the public portion, then you could take any motion, entertain any motion.
Madam Clerk.
So you are correct, Council President.
Madam Clerk, as the 6th Ward Councilman is so eager to be the parliamentarian, can you add some clarity to that, please?
Councilman Jackson, we are in public portion and we haven't closed the public portion yet.
Thank you
Very
very
good.
much.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Council members, I'm going to really ask, please, I'm going to ask for respect, okay? I mean, we're talking over each other. I am not calling your name. I don't want to do that. Let us not start that. Thank you very much, Mr. Sue.
Thank you very much.
In 3 minutes, okay? Give us a few minutes. Madam Clerk, the last speaker?
Yes, Madam President. Next speaker is Mr. Coleman. Mr. Coleman.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good to be the last speaker tonight, kind of wrap things up, but I do want to say thank you for your words of inspiration. 50-plus years, that's something to be proud of. And I hope to catch up to you, but I've only done a year and a half, so I've got some time. But I do want to address two things, though, that I've noticed, especially one in particular downtown. Council President, if I can have your attention, because hopefully I can get your support on this, but I was in one of the dollar stores downtown, and I have noticed it, and I've spoken to several people about the knockoff items that are being sold in these dollar stores and convenience stores. And I happen to be in one of those just to get non-essential items, and of course not those items. And apparently someone did, and a rash broke out on this person's arm. And they were very upset. They were in there. They were, of course, threatening litigation to the owner. But this is an issue because there is a lot of businesses that are operating with these knockoff Dove soaps with language you can't understand. And you've got people selling it, and now people are getting sick, and they're breaking out in rashes. It was the size of Texas on her arm. It was huge. So that is something that I don't know if there's a health department that can look into. Where are the inspections? Are they inspecting these businesses? And where are the fire inspections as well? I was hoping McDermott would be here because these buildings and these stores are just totally loaded with garbage and junk. And if a store were to catch on fire in downtown, that whole street from, I would say, Market to Broadway would be an inferno. So there needs to be some sort of regulation when it comes to health and fire in our downtown stores. The other issue I want to talk about is the train station. I know you guys have got to know what's going on down there. It is, you can't even get into the post office. And I have a box in that office. I can't get in there because they harass you for money, they're smoking drugs, and I'm afraid of the fentanyl. So that's the stuff you gotta be careful with because you could pass out coming in contact. And they're doing it down there. It's really bad. So I don't know if the law department, the administration, which I have no really faith in, I've lost it, I'm exhausted talking to the administration, but I really hope that someone look at these two issues because they're huge, especially that train station. I mean, that's the face of our city. When people come to see the falls, they come take the train. Look at what they're getting off and being greeted with. I've seen people get off and get on the train because they just don't want to get in the mix of all that stuff that's going on down there. So I hope someone takes control of those two issues, but that's all I wanted to say. And the decorations do look nice. Thank you for having me. Good night.
Thank you very much. Can I have a motion to close?
Second.
I'm sorry, who moved it?
Me?
Is that Councilman Velez?
Moved by Councilman Velez and second by Councilwoman Mims and Councilman Mendez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the public portion.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call to close the public portion of the regular meeting. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Khan?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Rivera?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Yes.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 8 in favor, 1 absent. The public portion of the regular meeting is now closed.
Council President?
Thank you very much. One second, please. One
President.
second. Madam BA, I'd like for you to address the two things pertaining to Berkshire, Corporation Counsel, litigation, if we can join the litigation. I think those are the two things. Am I correct? Mr.
Yes.
Su? Those are the two things, right? Really, there's no, but I just, because I wrote those two things down.
I think the first question you're asking is a matter of standing.
Correct. No, I know, but Berkshire wanted to know.
Yes, it's the matter of Fortress Holdings at 555 Preakness Avenue, and it's the Totowa Zoning Board of Adjustment.
Okay. Thank you.
I can just tell you that the resident's attorney has repeatedly tried to contact Corporation Counsel's office. They were scheduled for a phone call. City never participated.
Okay.
And so hopefully move forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Madam BA?
Council President, I think for this issue, in its totality, I would kind of defer to Corporation Counsel to address anything that we can address at this time. I know that some things are in motion.
Okay. Corporation Counsel?
Yes, thank you, Council President. So there's multi-layers to this, obviously, Council President, and what I can disclose and discuss publicly, I will, and some things may best be suited for a closed session to discuss potential legal action and legal strategy under the Open Public Meetings Act. The initial layer is that there is a pending application before the Paterson Zoning Board of Adjustment. I believe that application was recently adjourned, so that's one opportunity to meaningfully address this situation. I will also note that upon information and belief in some of the research that we've received and uncovered is that another application was heard before the Totowa Board of Adjustment, I believe in 2015, 16, and 19. So those are just two pieces of information. And I do believe there's currently an application pending before TOTOA. So that's another opportunity to the extent that individuals want to object. They can avail themselves of that process as well as a process before the Paterson Zoning Board of Adjustment. Finally, I'm not aware of any attempt to meet with the objectors' attorneys or counsel or overtures regarding same. I will note that I did, last time Mr. Sue got up and spoke, I asked for a copy of the lawsuit that they intended to file so that our law department can review and meaningfully advise counsel on whether or not this is a prudent course of action to sue a neighboring municipality on these set of facts. I've not received that. I'm sure it will be forthcoming or submitted at some point. But once we see the potential lawsuit, what the potential claims are, who the potential parties are, and what is alleged, we can make a meaningful determination as to whether or not it's in the best interest of the city to join or take some other course of action.
Thank you very much.
Council President,
Councilman Jackson, and then Councilman Velez, Councilman Mendez.
Before I comment, Corporation Counsel, I need some clarity. You made a statement just now. You said that there is an item before the Paterson Board of Adjustments, and your statement was that is a measure in which we can meaningfully address this item. Can you lend some clarity to that?
Absolutely. And I didn't say that we can. I said to the extent that the residents want to personally appear before the Paterson Board of Adjustment and express their objection to the pending application, that's certainly one avenue that I think they can pursue. So that was the basis of my statement at that point.
Okay, understood. That sounds a little better, because the fact of the matter, the administration, the municipality within itself has no ability to address these items from a board standpoint. Once it's in the hands of a board, the board cannot be coerced and or manipulated and or spoken to with regard to this application. That would be unlawful. So my position and my thought is, to members of the council, we consistently talk about supporting our residents, yet these neighboring cities and municipalities consistently, just kick us in the face. We have Prospect Park and Heldon who are ticketing residents in the city of Paterson at an alarming rate. Here we have a complete disregard of that zoning board to make this approval on our borders, and we're not taking any action. It's time that the city council stands in solidarity with its members, and if the members are interested in moving forward, and I get it, there are details that may need to be ironed out. But if we're not willing to enter into a lawsuit against the surrounding municipality that's looking to, put our residents in this kind of condition, then, obviously this is why the condition in Paterson is the way it is. We don't hold our neighboring towns accountable. We always make these allegations as if we want to, but we don't. So with that being said, Council President, I'll let, I know there's other people that want to speak, but I will be making a motion and seeing if we can get a second and put it to vote. And we'll do that after other council members have an opportunity to speak.
Councilmember Les, and after Councilmember Les, Councilwoman Ruica.
Thank you, Council President. Mr. Sue, thank you, because I've been watching your concern way back. I think that and I'm going to put this example. The Board of Adjustment the Board of Adjustment approve a Slater house or a poultry in the middle of Totowa Avenue, of Union Boulevard, and the court ruled in favor of the resident to remove that approval from that place. So if the board makes a poor judgment and approval of something, I think it could be challenged anywhere the community wants. And I believe the court will take it seriously. What I think my colleague is Councilman Jackson is trying to put forward is the same way that any
Sorry, Councilmember Les, just give me a second. I'm sorry. The live stream went out. That's the information that I have from Councilman Jackson. Mr. Min?
Let me see, I'm
Please.
looking at myself. I'm waiting now.
Residents.
This Councilman Jackson receiving information from one of the residents that the live stream went out. Let's wait for Mr. Ming and double check that we live.
Yeah, we make sure that Verizon is not cutting cable around.
All right. Sorry, Councilman
All
Velez, you might continue.
If not, you could rebroadcast and you see what I'm saying. In the past, any mayor requests resolution to support any bill in the state level. In the past, in the federal level, there's a bill to support, and there's always resolution submitted to us in support of that legislation. I think, based on all the statements and comments and complaints that the resident have already brought forward about the issue of Berkshire and the other situation, we gathered all that information. We drafted a resolution in support of the residents, and they could take that letter whatever they want, because they have come here in the public portion concerns and bring over here all the complaints, and we are the voices. They're here, the voices and of the residents. And I don't know if Councilman Jackson agrees on that based on all the information that was brought forward and all the complaints of the residents regarding the issue, we could open all the minutes regarding those complaints and put it in a resolution paper, and then we could approve it as council members to support whatever they want to do, because it's already in a public setting that they have already complained, a public portion, and that is legal. And they come in toward us to complain. And that is an evidence that is not something that we are creating to support, is that we have listened to the facts, we look at the situation, and then we could support any claims that they are based on the community requests on it. You know, Mr. Coleman, you know, I am a little bit concerned with your statement, because in other cities, they have prohibited bootlegs products. Okay? Bootleg product, they put ties, and then when you see in the back, they're not really made in the United States. They're made in China. They're made with another chemical and other stuff, and they are sometimes banned by quality control product that the government and another level watch that FDA's approval or whatever it is. You know, we need to look into that. If we have a division in the Board of Health to look and really the chemicals, what's going on, what they're selling, it will be beneficial to for that. You know, Mr. Watson. We addressing the
No,
only one
I have council.
Oh, okay.
If you mind, let me go back to Councilwoman Rubicon, and I have Councilwoman Mins waiting.
Also, we addressing the issue of Councilman
Go ahead,
Jackson. Okay, all right. Oh, so I could continue.
You could wrap it up, then I will go back to Councilwoman. So if you're going to talk about another topic, go ahead, Councilman.
You can put the clock now, okay? All right. Mr. Watson, I know you left, you know, we sit in the DPW committee, we sit in the public safety committee. Listen, when people have to understand government, though, you know, we wish we could hire right now 900 police officers, but where are we going to support it from? What budget? What grants? So it's our responsibility to approve whatever the administration bring forward. Their responsibility is to make sure they have the revenues to cover more police officers. They are the responsible to cover more salary increases for our employees. And then when it comes in front of us, we approve it. We've been demanding that for the longest. Probably go deaf ears, but the community could go back to the record how many times not only this administration, in the past administration, we encourage them to do what they have to do. Mr. Corey T. left, but when I was on vacation, that little vacation that I took, there was a situation with the lunches in the schools. And I know he left. I hope the superintendent and the school nutrition division, department or whatever, look carefully close to it. We belong at the educational committee, and soon we're gonna have a conversation regarding that, because the taxpayer of Paterson deserve better, especially our kids. Thank you, Council President.
Sure, Councilwoman Ruy Cotton.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President. I just want to first respond to Eva. We go back many, many years.
Eva.
And you know what? And you're right. You know, we need to have more things to let Pattersonians come out, because it really was an enjoyable day at Pennington Park. And I went to an event, and I must have saw people I hadn't seen in 25, 30 years. And you see people, you're saying, wow, you know, I hadn't seen you in so long. So you are so correct, because, you know, it makes you feel good to see someone for years that you have not seen. So I just want to commend you for just saying that. We do have to have, so just look out for some of the stuff I be having. Right. No, they won't let you talk. Oh, right, that's all. Right, we just have to share. And I just want to say to Corey T., I know Corey is special needs. I don't call it special ed, I call it special needs. And let me tell you, like back in the 90s when my son was at Eastside High School, what they did was they put special needs kids in the basement. And everybody knew that when they went to the basement, they were special need kids. And I said, and I fought really hard that you have to put special needs, you have to put them in the population with everyone. So this way, they're not teased, they're not picked on, they're not all of that. So I saw it improving. And also, Jamie Bland, Jumpstart Production. She started this Jumpstart Production for children that would
I'm
not
sorry,
be looked at.
I'm sorry, Councilwoman Ruy Cotton. We don't have a quorum, so.
No, he got to come in. It's no, you got to count. 5. Get him.
Councilmember Les?
You got to count.
Councilmember Les,
You can't
we
go
don't have
out,
any quorum. We
Councilman.
need you back in the room.
You're not supposed to get up.
You might continue, Councilwoman. We already have quorum back. Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say that, you know, our special needs children do have special talents. All our children have special talent. And, you know, as much as we can bring it out of them, it's up to us as adults to try to bring out the special stuff that they have in them. And you believe me, they have it. To Elvis is constantly promoting our city. He promoting the music, the Mega Fest. You know, I got to give it to Elvis. He's doing it all the time. And that's because Elvis loves his city. You know, he does. He loves it. And I said, anything he does, we should do our best to support him. For Mr. Watson, who spoke about a vision and stuff, there's so much stuff. What I find is that I lived on my block 37 years already. And I can tell you, everybody who moves in my block, there's only 3 families left there for 30-something years. But I tell you, whenever somebody comes to my neighborhood, I'm going to make sure I go to them and introduce myself to them and let them know that I live in this house here. And I love nosy neighbors, because nosy neighbors take care of you. Look after your property, look after your children, look after everything. You love people who looks after you. And I think that we need to try to get communities to get back of doing that again. Get to know your people who live on your block. You see something strange, don't just let them walk up and down the street. Question them, what are you doing? Who are you looking for? You know, you have to, you know, say to me, you have to do some of that. David Sue, I know that you have been asking about this, and we're waiting for our, information from our legal counsel for us. And as a matter of fact, he left, but he called here. I happened to be in the office today when he called, asking for something on the agenda, and the secretary really didn't know what it was that he was actually looking for. I happened to be here when he called, asking if 551 Perkins Avenue was on the agenda, which had no idea what he meant by that. And to Mr. Coleman, it's nice to see you again. You know, I have not seen you. I'm happy that you're here, but we have to make sure that if there's something in place that we can make sure that they don't be selling stuff, Let me tell you something. We have too many bodegas. We have too many everything, and they be in them. They have all kind of stuff in them bodegas. I sat at a bodega one day. 10 people came in there and got something called some kind of enhancement products. Lord have mercy. I said,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like, and I finally had to say, what is that? Like, what are they asking for? But it's about demand. When there's a man, they do it, and it's about the man. But I'm glad you brought that up because we really need to have a health department look into stuff like that. Because it is happening, that they're doing things that they should not be doing. So thank you for bringing that up. I just had to put that out there because I'm sitting in the store.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you,
everybody's
Councilwoman.
like,
Appreciate.
what is that? What are they buying? What do they need? What they...
Thank you, Councilwoman
Thank you.
Mims, and after that, Councilman Mendez, and I guess in closing.
Councilwoman Cotton, I love your stories. Keep telling them. People need to hear that. It makes our night go by. To Eva, thank you so much for always coming.
Eva.
And I love you as well. Always coming and giving so much insight. I've known you for a very, very long time. And I just appreciate the knowledge, the information, and your passion when you come to the microphone. And you're right. It is my belief that we are truly better together. We have to learn how to work cohesively together because the community really needs advocacy. To Mr. Teague, I've served on the school board with Mr. Teague, and Mr. Teague does a lot with special needs. I want to give a special shout out to his daughter, Kanaya, with, the great grades and a great start in the new school year. And also congratulations to Commissioner Teague for starting Berkeley College. That's a great accomplishment. To Mr. Durham, I know he speaks about EDOM production. Maybe my name gets left off the list because I've definitely supported and sponsored. So I'll put my own sponsorship. I thank myself for helping him all the time since he never mentions it. To Mr. Watson, he talked about vision and all the different concerns. I pray that the administration is taking what is said and making sure that it's being addressed. Mr. David Sue, who's been on the front line for a long time, advocating and fighting, and I pray that he gets some level of resolution for the residents. A lot of times, very seldom do I see him fight for himself. I've always seen him fight on behalf of others, and that's to be commended. And Mr. Cole, you are right, I've gotten complaints about things that are being condensed or reduced, not at the actual percentage of what is being, products being given out in those stores. And I've told people to, to call Consumer Affairs or the Better Business Bureau to report those incidents in the stores. So we have to definitely make sure our health inspectors are aware of that, our health department is aware of that, and we can go and inspect those products. So with that being stated, keep coming, keep advocating, keep sharing your issues and concerns, and to the administration that they will address them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Mims. Councilman Mendez.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Eva. As your councilman, I really want to thank you for just continue advocating for our area. I'm going to continue working hard the same way I've been working since I've been elected in the third ward to control the problem that we have with the speeding. We're already working with the speed bump situation. And also, I would like to thank all the third ward residents for calling me when we have loud music, complaining, some of the block. We cannot policing everything, but I've been doing something that is definitely working in the third ward. I've been meeting with different block and coming together to make sure that when there's a problem in one of the property that we could handle it as a neighbor. That's what we are. We live in this city, and we have to take care of each other. Mr. Cohen, I really want to thank you also for just keep coming here and speaking about the issues that are affecting our community. And panhandling, thank you. Panhandling is something that is getting out of control, extremely out of control. Through the chair to Madam BA, I know the director was here, but I would like to hear from the director, what is the plan in place? Because it's really, we have panhandling in every corner, in Madison, Broadway, everywhere we stop, we have people harassing, arresting, and asking for money. And we all know that it's against the law, it's illegal, it's in the book, but we're not enforcing. So the biggest problem that we have in the city of Paterson is that we have so many laws in place, but we're not enforcing none of those laws and regulations. And that's the reason why our city is in the condition that it is. And last but not least, I know Mr. Watson spoke about the vision and the concern that he has in terms of the violence and what's going on with the city. And I'm out there knocking on doors and having conversation with the residents. and a lot of them share the same concern that Mr. Waxman has about the high crime that we have in the city and the lack of services that we have. And I just want to say, based on, since I've been here, and I see the number, this administration have all the resources in place to provide the services that our taxpayers are paying for. And that's definitely something that has concerned me. And I'm just going to continue out there advocating for our residents and holding this administration accountable, because that's the only thing that we can do. But before my closing, Madam President, I know Councilman Rivera spoke about the process, Councilman, about the company. And when we put in a bid out there, we understand that there's a process, but we need to know the community that we governing for. We have immigrant minority companies that are here that they don't understand the process, and it's our responsibility to take them through the process. Let me just remind you that a lot of the nonprofit that we have over here, this is the same example. We have the same biggest nonprofit getting all the resources, and we understand they are solid and they know the process how to apply. But those companies, we need to teach them, those nonprofit and those local companies that we have in the city of Paterson. I do believe in those job fair to bring those companies into the table and teach them step by step how they could be part of the bidding process, how they could participate on those bids to be able to have those jobs. That's the process, and that's what I'm speaking about it. And I do believe that the administration has the responsibility to put a plan together for that. Because as long as we continue doing this, and I'm closing, Madam President, as long as we continue giving those contracts, spending $100 million on a stadium, and you don't have one Paterson resident making $1 out of that project, it just doesn't make sense for nobody. At least for me, it doesn't make sense. You know, and I know it's over, but we gotta start putting something in place now to correct the problem. And that's my point. I'm gonna continue insisting through the to Corporation Council to sit down and put something together to make sure that we correct that problem.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Council members, we had 6 speakers and
Council-
an hour of public portion.
Still gotta vote.
I'm sorry?
We're closing the public
closed it
portion,
already.
right? I haven't voted yet.
No, we already closed the public portion. We already closed, the public portion has been closed. And then Councilman Jackson wanted to speak, so he spoke, and then everyone else. That's what I'm trying to say, that we're gonna move forward now. Madam Clerk, item number
Council President,
24.
We haven't voted.
Council President,
Councilman Jackson.
so once again, Council President, you know, it's very disappointing sitting in this position. If you didn't know anything about the city of Paterson, you would think that the city is peaches and roses. You come here and listen to council members, I want to thank this, and we doing such a phenomenal job with that. Things have gotten better with this. Yet, a motorcycle driver just got killed the other day. There was another murder in the first ward just 2 days ago. I had 3 family members talking about mourning on certain things, and we're sitting here debating on whether or not we know the open public bidding process. We know what the open public bidding process, what is, Councilman Mendez? You're absolutely right. As the chairman who sat there and advocated for the department when this project came through, and they made a promise that it was going to create Paterson jobs, and yet we're saying we should still wait as we spend $100 million. So I'm not going to sit here tonight and do this with you guys and waste my time as the political pandering continues and our community suffering. Those residents on Berkshire Avenue, I showed the video, it looks like a Jumanji movie, and yet this council is reluctant. Council President, the residents came here and presented that 3 weeks ago. What has the administration done? What has Corporation Counsel's office done in order to find out what's going on with the litigation? So once again, you know, and I didn't have an opportunity. I talked solely about this, but the residents' concerns need to be answered. I'll just say this in very quickly. I'm deeply concerned because I sat and listened to the BA and the mayor put together a forum that nobody else was able to answer to. It was a locked forum. Members from the who worked in the Madam BA, who worked in the Health and Human Services, asked a simple question about their hazardous pay. The question wasn't answered. When we talk about a lack of vision, as Keith talked about, we're going to spend almost $80 million that was given to the city on public safety, health and safety. Yet, there was nothing presented last night for redoing the health department. The health department has been having a leaky roof, and the people who are out there putting their lives on the line, we're sitting here just passing those people over. Why is it personal to me? My mother's one of those people, administering vaccines, administering tests. Yet we're violating people's rights by telling employees that they must be vaccinated, and if they're not vaccinated, they have to be tested. That's a violation of the HIPAA law. Nobody should know what my personal decision, medical decisions are.
That is
If
correct.
I'm going to make a personal medical decision about myself, and then the administration is telling us, you must get tested only, that's letting everybody else know that I'm not vaccinated. There's so
President.
much here that's going on, and we sit here every week and play the game while this city is suffering. The amount of killings and things of that nature, while people over there just parlayed themselves into another $50,000 a year salary, collectively $200,000 a year, while people out here can't even pay their goddamn rent. I'm tired of playing this game with you guys. Y'all can sit here and play it all night, man. If you know, don't get
Thank
me.
you,
Don't
thank you,
take me.
Councilman Jackson.
So,
The only thing that I am
on my
going to-
way out, Council President, I make a motion to support the residents on Berkshire Avenue in their efforts of suing the surrounding municipality. And I put the motion on the floor once again. I would be interested to see if we can get a second and
I would
put it
second
to a
that,
vote.
Council President. I would
Thank
second.
you, Councilman Velez.
The reason I would second, Council President, is because I stated before, the residents of Paterson of that area have come forward complaining to this body. They are the voice of those residents. Come here, we are the voice, we are the ears. And some action, we could draft something and let legal analyze that draft, and we bring it forward to vote into our next workshop or our next workshop to move it forward, next legal explanation if it's possible, to give a benefit of the doubt on it.
So, council members, I thought we were all in the room when I addressed Corporation Counsel, actually the BA, and it was given to Corporation Counsel to be able to answer. And his statement was he did not have all the information, he didn't have a copy of the litigation that's being presented. I never heard anyone say that they were against. I don't want to take an action on something right now without having all the full information.
We're not taking
And just
action.
for the record, Councilman
Not
Kalik,
yet.
who's the representative of that ward, we went to Berkshire. DPW, soon after, 2 days after Mr. Su, they went over there. I know there are certain things that they took action in terms of physically going over there and looking at, what happened there. And I don't know if they reported back to the BA. So, without having all the information, we want to move forward with something without having all the information. I'm not comfortable.
Council President.
But
So we could, well,
if there is a motion on the floor,
hold
We're
on,
in
so we have a
discussion.
discussion and motion.
Yeah,
So
we're in discussion.
in
Council
other words,
President.
Council President, Council Abdulaziz, just give me a minute.
can I just say before, we have an agenda before us. And what really, really is upsetting is to see that, I'm not saying we can't entertain other items, but we don't stick to the task. That should have been done in a workshop, okay? That should have been put forward in a workshop where we can have the bigger discussions. Today, we're supposed to take action on items, and there were 6 speakers who only spoke for 3 minutes each. That's 18 minutes.
So, Council
And
President,
we've been for 45 minutes, each one of you speaking.
the idea is that if he put a motion, he could put that on as a title, give the opportunity to, Councilman Abdulaziz, a minute, I know you got a degree in law.
Councilman Velez,
But,
complete.
yeah, it give her the opportunity to put it as a title. Legal will get the facts to put it as a draft and see the legality of it, and then present it to us for a vote. We could do that.
Council President.
Looking at the facts of legality on it. If it's
Council-
not, then we can move forward.
Council President, may I get the floor,
So,
please?
I'm sorry, Councilman Abdulaziz, really, Councilman Rivera asked me for the floor, but Councilman Abdulaziz.
Council President, I wholeheartedly agree with you, and I'm sure my colleagues will probably agree with this, or the majority of the colleagues. We understand the issues at Berkshire Ave. I just heard my council colleague from the First Ward say that he presented this 3 weeks ago. What we're doing right now is reactive. 3 weeks ago, you should have sat down with Corporation Council, drafted something that should have went to workshop, brought it to us so we can analyze, look at it, and vote. But putting a motion, I agree, we don't know what we're motioning on. Legal doesn't know what item we're looking at. So, Council President, I wholeheartedly agree with you. What we have here is being reactive instead of proactive. I think the councilman from the Second Ward stated that he wanted litigation and urged the administration to do that. I heard during discussion that the Corporation Council was going to look at it, come back with us with where we're at, what do we want to do, how we could proceed, and then we move forward. But to put a motion in sample, no title, we're going to add this. I just heard we said we're going to vote on something that we don't know what the something is. That's not how government works. I think everyone agrees that we should get involved in this project. Let's do it right. Let them go back, look at the briefs, see what the residents have it there, and bring it back to the council in a functioning way that we have a document in front of us and understanding, are we going to bring outside counsel? Are we going to bring outside counsel that are experts in this? I'd rather have, if we're going to go hard, get the experts out there that do this for a living, that does planning and development, that knows the loopholes, that knows the briefings, and knows everything else in that nature. But let's do it right. Don't just say we're going to do this and put a staffer on that's not expert in that. So, Council President, I agree with you wholeheartedly. There is a motion in a second. I urge my colleagues not to jump the gun so it looks good on camera, and not do the right thing. Because you're absolutely right, Council President. We're wasting a lot of time debating things that we shouldn't really be debating because it's not on the agenda. That's not how government works. You don't put a motion and say, oh, this is what we're going to do this and do that. We don't know the expense.
Thank you very much, Councilman Abdelaziz. Councilman Rivera, I know you asked me for the floor.
Yeah, I feel bad for even prolonging this, to be honest, but I just want to challenge my colleagues. You really want to make a difference and help? Then take action. I've taken action before. What's the saying? You could take the horse to the water, but you cannot make them drink it. I have scheduled meetings of certain people, company owners in the city, to meet with the purchasing agent. He has met with them in the past. They still don't put the bid in. So, I challenge you to do the same. If you know any business owners that have, the equipment and the company set up, then I'm sure Harry, he's willing to basically tell them everything that they need in order for them to qualify for a bid. But all we're doing here is reacting. All, knee-jerk reactions over here. Things that people, you're saying things that people want to hear at home. The only thing I want to say to the public is, anytime someone comes to me, it doesn't fall on deaf ears, and the BA knows. I reach out to them all the time, and I follow up. Instead of me getting on this mic and criticizing, yeah, when something is wrong, I let the administration, I let it be known when I have an issue. But also, there's a time that we have to work with them, and instead of, like this situation with Berkshire, we already told we already asked, we didn't tell them, we asked the BA last meeting that we wanted, the city to look into this and help these people in Berkshire Avenue. And our requests haven't changed. And the Corporation Council just said that he's going to look into it. So what else do you need? Thank you,
Thank you very much, Councilman Rivera. And yes, I'm in agreement. We did, and I know that Councilman Kalik, who's not here, and Councilman Jackson, you weren't here when I announced that he had a family member pass away just earlier today. This is why he's not here. But I know that he did ask the administration. He did do that. And I think the only thing that I would say is, it is a week later, right? And so to not have any info, the only thing that I did hear from Corporation Council was that you did request a copy to see, the copy of the litigation, and you didn't receive it. So at least that is what I heard from my Corporation Council. All right, whatever information we need to get it as soon as possible, because I am looking, and I would like for us to entertain that. Absolutely, unequivocally, I would like to see that. But I want to do it the right way. We have to be very careful that then this doesn't come back on us in a negative way. That's all I'm saying. So, there is a motion, and Councilman Velez, you stand on your second?
I will stand in my position because
Councilman, okay, so it's a yes or no. I'm just going to take a vote up or down. That's it.
there should be a title on it, and then based on that
Exactly,
title-
and that's my point. I don't know what it is, what action it is that Corporation Counsel,
Councilman
can you
Jackson stated
tell me what the motion was and your second?
Council President, thank you. I believe there's a motion on the floor to support the residents, which I think is a noble endeavor, and I think we all support the residents. But my understanding of the potential litigation that the constituent is proposing is that Paterson join a lawsuit that hasn't even been filed. And by the way, we can always join lawsuits, right? If a lawsuit is filed, generally speaking, you have an opportunity to join it. But putting that aside, my understanding is that the request from the constituent was that we join a lawsuit that sues the Totowa Zoning Board of Adjustments. And on that basis, without knowing anything about the lawsuit, why, what they may or may not have done right or wrong, what they approved or didn't approve, my understanding is that these approvals go back to 2015 from Totowa. So my understanding is that the motion is to support the residents, but the substance of that support, what exactly are we supporting? What is the basis of the lawsuit? What are the legal claims? What are the factual claims? Who is the defendant? Is it the individual board members? Is it someone else? That I would respectfully advise against until we can have more information on that basis.
Okay.
So, Council President, if I may.
I remove my motion based on that claim.
Okay.
Council President, there's no motion on the floor, no second. We get back to the agenda, please. The second's removed, so we could go back to the agenda,
Okay.
Council President, please.
So Councilman Jackson, I think we're going to visit this, okay?
Very good. Council President, I'll just say this in closing. First of all, I wrote the legislation in which someone referenced a moment ago for the panhandlers legislation. There has never been one summons issued. The residents, and Councilman Abdelaziz said, I presented this. I didn't present this. The residents came here and presented this several weeks ago, and nothing was done. So again, obviously the motion fails. I'm not removing the motion. The motion is not for fanfare. The fact of the matter is, our residents' concerns are not being addressed.
Okay,
It is the council's obligation to hold the administration accountable for addressing the concerns of the residents. How long should it take? Should we wait until the lawsuit is over, until it's lost, till the residents lose the lawsuit? We always have the ability to withdraw from a lawsuit if the actual context of the suit doesn't fit the scope of what the city wants to support. But this sends a clear message that we're unwilling. And I spoke in depth with Councilman Khalid. This is not indifference of him. This is about our residents' concerns are not being answered by the administration.
Thank you very much, Councilman Jackson. Madam Clerk, item 24. Council members, as you are aware,
Yes, Council
all of
President.
these items were discussed in committee as well as workshop. Madam Clerk, item 24 on the non-consent agenda.
Yes, ma'am. We have 3. Next item is item number 24. And item number 24 reads, Resolution authorizing the extension and modification of a cooperative management agreement with the United States Department of the Interior National Park Service for the rehabilitation of the former Allied Textile printing site into a great lawn for public access. Economic Development Resolution 2151.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Mendes and second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 24 for approval.
Yes, Council President. Roll call on item number 24 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilman Mendes.
Yes.
Councilman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Rivera not there. Councilman Velez? Councilman Velez, number 24.
Yeah, I got it. Yes.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 5 in favor, 4 absent. Item number 24 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much. Madam BA, I actually wanted to ask you something that I need you to put on record, because I noticed that when Councilman Jackson was speaking and he mentioned HIPAA, you shook your head. So it is obvious that people are not looking at you, but I am, and I need you to quickly respond to why you shook your head as no.
Thank you. Thank you, Council President. Yes, as the council members know, the city is instituting a vaccination or testing policy that's going into place as of October 7th and 8th. And it's a policy that's similar to other levels of government, everything from the county to the state, to the judiciary, and then at the federal level, they're doing this also for private employers with 100 employees. So I wanted to just particularly read from the Health and Human Services.gov website, which is the federal government's website that discusses this, about the question is, if my employer requires proof of my COVID-19 vaccination status, does that violate my rights under HIPAA? And it is very clear that it does not. In general, the HIPAA rules do not apply to employers or employment records. HIPAA only applies to HIPAA-covered entities, healthcare providers, health plans, and healthcare clearinghouses, and to some extent, their business associates. If an employer asks an employee to provide proof that they've been vaccinated, that is not a HIPAA violation. And I wanted to make this clear so that our employees understand this, and we don't, everyone can have their own opinions, but you have to have the real facts.
Okay.
And this is a fact directly from hhs.gov. Everyone can look it up.
Thank you very much. I also saw something, I think I read it today, where I believe judges ruled in regards to Newark and actually against
Correct.
the fire department and the police department. So there's something similar
Correct.
because they were requesting the same thing.
And that actually was a step further, a step beyond what Paterson is doing. That's those cities, Newark in particular, was having a vaccination or termination, that you have to be vaccinated, and the judge ruled in their favor that
Okay.
that policy is allowed.
Thank you very much, Madam BA. Madam Clerk, item 25?
Yes, Madam President. Next item is item number 25, resolution authorizing an award of contract to Rail Auction LLC for hosting online tax sales for the Finance Department, RFP number 2022-07, Finance Resolution 21519.
So moved.
Moved by Councilwoman Mims and second by me. Finally, online tax sales.
Discussion.
Councilman Velez?
We don't have quorum again.
Yes, we do. He's standing right there.
Councilman Abdelaziz is right there.
He's right there.
Council President, what we auctioning here? What we,
Councilman-
what we selling?
Councilman, it's an award of contract to Real Auction LLC for hosting online tax sales for the Finance Department.
When they gonna submit the list of that taxes?
Mr. CFO,
It was submitted on 9/13.
9/13?
you were
Oh,
away.
I was
Council.
in here.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they
we'll get your
emailed us
copy.
it.
We'll get your
An email.
copy of it.
They
resend
emailed us it.
We'll get a copy.
So how many?
They emailed us it.
There's about 2,300 property, 2,300 lines,
How many properties?
2,300.
2,300?
2,300.
2,300. And they mainly what?
Between taxes and sewer,
Properties?
from 2020,
Homeowners?
correct.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Madam Clerk, thank you, Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on
Yes,
item
Madam
25.
President. Roll call on item number 5 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Pass for a minute, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Can I pass on this first? I pass.
Councilman Mendez?
Sure, Madam Clerk, thank you. I just, I know we're on roll call, but I know there was a discussion at the Finance Committee. before I vote no, through CFO, I know, I remember we had a conversation about the $15 charge certificate, so before I vote against, can you elaborate a little bit more about this charge? Because there was a debate of an additional charge to our taxpayers, so.
The $25 fee wasn't a new charge. It was a charge that we charge every year. It was going to be who's picking it up. It was either going to be picked up by the delinquent payers or by the city as a whole.
But Council President, that actually was the resolution prior to this one that already failed from the council, so
Okay,
it
but
remains
the
the same.
$25 charge is still in place,
It's being
and it's
picked
being
up
covered
by the city.
by the taxpayer.
Correct.
Plus, on top of that, we have $15 in addition to the 25 with this new restaurant.
No, one $25 fee for the cost of the sale.
What about the $15? Who take this tab, 15 per certificate? Do we advertise?
It's a complete fee of $25 altogether. It's an administration fee.
15 is 25.
Yeah.
So in another word, what you're saying is that the 25 that they've been paid for, so out of those 25, those $15 that I see in this restaurant is included in the 25 that they already been paid for.
It's an administration fee. It's $25 for the cost of the sale for every line.
No, but my question is, I want a straight answer to that question. My question is that the $15 that I see here charge, what you're saying that we already charged our taxpayer $25 fee. The $15 that I see in this restaurant, that's part of the 25. Are there 15 included? Is a total $25, or there's an additional
He just said,
charge?
Councilman Mendez, he
I'm
just answered that question. He said it's a total of 25.
So I think, and Council President, this is the cost for this contract to
I know.
real auction is $15
But my
per line. That
cons-
fee is being, the other fee, just to have them, not for any one vendor, but just the cost for the city, that's being supported by the city. That's not being put on to the delinquent lien holders.
Let me just be clear with my argument. My argument here is that I see a restaurant that has an additional $15 charge, and we already have established a 25 number. So I just want to make sure that we don't get an additional on top of the 25, that our taxpayer don't get another $15 charge before I vote yes or no on this restaurant. That's but understanding that there's not an increase of $15, my vote is yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
Yeah, Council President, I know that this 2300 was approved for sale, right? What was the vote on that? It was unanimous from the present council members to sell, or?
Councilman Mendez, Velez, you're asking me something right now that I don't.
When was it, September, now?
It was our last meeting.
Last meeting?
Our last meeting was
I actually
workshop.
think it was pulled. I think that item was pulled from the agenda. Are you discussing the changing who pays the fee?
No, that's not
this
what he's
item.
asking. He's asking about the 2,300.
How the vote went? It was unanimous to sell? Did the council approve, yes, we're gonna sell
Councilman,
them?
these are people that are delinquent. That is
I
the
understand.
process. This has been the process for years.
Council President, point of order. I've let this discussion go for a minute. We're in the middle of roll call.
I understand
And
that.
people should just vote. They should just vote up or down. This agenda is being prolonged. But with point of order, when roll call, if we want, it fails, and revisit and have
Councilman
discussion.
Abdulaziz,
Point of
thank
order,
you.
please.
Thank you very much. Councilman Velez, did you vote? Did you vote?
No, not yet.
Okay, please, I would say that you either, if you're not in support of it, and I understand you were away, okay? I would just, if you want to abstain, if you want to vote up or down.
No, it's, the council approved something to sell. They took in consideration of the pandemic, they took in consideration the people without jobs and they cannot pay the bills. Hey, that was the decision and the wish of the council based on the administration, what they put forward. But now we have to honor a contract to a company to execute the will of the council to sell those taxes. So my vote is yes to hire that company to do that.
Okay.
Councilwoman Carney, we are voting on item number 25.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 25 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item 26.
Yes, ma'am. Next item is item number 26, resolution addressing the renewal of an entertainment/slow license for Night Court Entertainment, trading as Silk City Gentlemen's Lounge, 10 First Avenue, in the 3rd Ward. Finance, Resolution 21-520.
So moved.
So move. Second.
I'm sorry, moved by Councilwoman Mims and second by Councilman Mendez.
That's
Roll
correct.
call, Madam Clerk, on item number 26.
Roll call on item number 26 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Tan?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Just let the record reflect that this business is in the 3rd Ward. I walk in that area, have conversation with all the residents in that area, and there's no complaint. Check the call for service as well. So I'm comfortable voting in support of this. My vote is yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
You know, the days of call of service was from July 12, 2020 through July 11, 2021, in the middle of COVID-19. You know, 9 call of service, and I have to honor the work and hard work of the ABC. You know, people need to learn how to conduct themselves in their business, and they got a big quality life issue situation regarding that place. My vote is no.
Your vote is?
No.
Thank you. Madam President?
No.
The vote is 4 in favor, 2 against, 3 absent. Item number 26 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, item number 28. Council members, this item did not
Which
go
one?
through workshop, but I didn't think that any council member would. Council members, I need you to please, for a minute, item 28 is an ordinance, it's a first reading ordinance, and it's an ordinance authorizing acceptance of a bronze bust to be installed in Peru Square at Mill and Market Streets depicting martyr of Peruvian independence, Micaela Bastidas, and honoring Peru's bicentennial. So just so you understand, this is a donation that is coming to the city, and the way that it was done is we went through the historic preservation first. We actually spoke to the owner of where this is going to go, and there was a letter of support. There's a letter of support on behalf of the commissioners. I went through legal. For this year being the bicentennial 200th year of Peruvian independence, if you read a little background of who Micaela Bastidas was, not only did she, was a champion and a warrior for Peruvians, but for many other Latino countries, okay? And so we have Peru to the World Expo's 10th year anniversary in regards with, oh my God, Peru, oh God, I can't remember the name right now, but Peru Innovations USA. They're the ones who are donating it. If you guys want to take a look at her, because they didn't want to be moving it back and forth, it's in City Hall, okay? So you are welcome to do so. With that said, I would like to support, I am sponsoring this, and so I know Councilman Velez, I'll do this. I'm going to sponsor it, and I want it co-sponsored by the entire council, okay? Let's do that. So that way nobody feels like, it's everyone of us.
So just a question, and
Yes.
it doesn't mean it, but it's saying PR Innovations USA by CEO Malvi Davila.
Yes.
Are they in relation to you, or
No,
that?
they're not.
They're not?
No,
Okay.
it's no blood. And
Just
I
wanted to
told,
put it on
when we
record.
sat down with Gianfranco, when we sat down, you know how some people say, oh, hey, primo, right?
Yeah.
We are not
They're
blood
not-
related, okay? We do have the same last name.
Yeah, and they're both blonde. That don't mean nothing.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, oh, God. So with that said, she is the CEO, okay, but it was not just her. She didn't purchase, she got people on board, but it was through her 10th year anniversary of her company and of a, which, by the way, she held June 24th in the
At the
Great
Great
Falls. It was so beautiful. It was all free to the
Nice food.
community. And she had
Good food.
Peruvian chefs from all over.
Yes.
That were from Peru, but that were from Florida, Virginia, and from other places. So
I
it
just
was
got a
very
quick question,
nice
Madam
event.
President.
Yes, Councilman Mendez.
Yeah, definitely. I have no problem in support of this resolution, in support of our Peruvian community. But the question that I have is in which location? I know it's in the resto, the resto that is going to be located on Mill Street, Market Street, right on the corner.
So you know where
Not
Leña
by Tia
Calvon-
Delia, also on the other side.
No, by the Leña Calvon side, because that's, George McClure is the owner.
By
right,
Leña
of 21
Calvon
Mill-
side,
so
okay.
21 Mill Street area, right there.
Got it,
So
okay.
we're gonna be working with Gianfranco. I actually, we met earlier, through phone.
If
and-
Gianfranco is okay, I'm very sure that will be fine.
Oh, honey, this is why I'm telling you that it went, not only the meetings, they had meetings before it went to the Historic Preservation Board, so, he's really big on and making sure. The thing that I have to say, Gianfranco, I really appreciate your words to me. He said, Council President, thank you so much for introducing me to who this woman was. He said he did his own research and he could not believe, he said the wonderful things and how, she died,
And it's a historic piece.
Councilman, just so
Yeah.
you know, Councilman Abdulaziz, this item was not on the workshop, so this is why I'm making a point of just making sure that we can put it in first reading.
I have some questions.
Okay, so you have a question?
Yes.
Councilman Abdulaziz.
I think it's a noble cause. I understand. I just want to see, just the legalities, Corporation Council. The city's accepting this, correct? And it's going to be installed at a private property. So just for example, we own it. Say the property gets sold to another owner and they knock down the bust.
Yeah, no.
Is there an agreement with the private owner in the city that's included with this?
Just so you know, no to that sense, to this, okay, that went through the board, through the Historic Preservation Board, all right? And it is my understanding in that conversation that Mr. McClure, who gave the approval, okay, at any point, if he sells, that is part of, that's the city's.
Part of the green.
So
Because
yeah,
it's gonna go in the corner.
Yeah, no, I understand it's gonna go in the corner. So Council President, just bear with me, and I will support this. I am just telling you, legalities, we own it. What if somebody climbs that and gets hurt? Are we responsible for if someone
Get
falls
hurt?
on it? Council President, you don't know. You've seen we've had people sue us for stepping on
All right,
potholes.
I mean, that's legit, but I've never, how, it's nothing different than when we have Juan Pablo Duarte.
No, I agree with you. I'm not, Council President, what I'm
No,
saying
I wasn't
is,
getting
someone
it.
climbs the bust and falls and hits their head. Someone gets hurt, who's responsible for that liability? In Juan Pablo Duarte, the city owns that land, so that's ours. My suggestion is, and also, just think about it, you could take this back to your committee, it could take one owner, a change of ownership to take it off, right? George McClure tells us yes today, Johnny Smith says no tomorrow. So now we're sitting there with this dilemma on our hands because it is a private property. I just want to make those concerns brought to you and your committee or whoever you're working with. I would recommend probably putting it across the street on the school property, somewhere there, that's owned by a government entity, and therefore that doesn't go anything. I'm just telling you guys down the line. Right now, it looks good. It takes one person. A new tenant comes in on that corner and doesn't want that in front of his store. So just things you should think about. I support this, Council President, but things that you should think about when you put the installation. All
There
right?
is a specific reason why it should be that corner. Okay, thank you very much.
And I believe, Council President, it goes by resolution by the Historic Preservation, and it's approved by them. And any agreement that falls or transfer a deed or whatever, that agreement stays there. So I don't think there's a problem with that.
Okay, thank you very much, council members.
And the piece,
I appreciate.
and the piece is historical, that goes in a historical site.
No, thank you so much. I really appreciate the sentiments, the support. Madam Clerk, roll call, item 28 for first reading.
Yes, next item is item number 28 for first reading. No public hearing is required. An ordinance authorizing, Councilman, I have to read the
I'm
title.
sorry.
Ordinance authorizing acceptance of a bronze bust to be installed in Peru Square and Mill and Market Streets, depicting martyr of Peruvian independence, Micaela Bastistas, and honoring Peru's bicentennial. And this is sponsored by Council President Maritza Davila and co-sponsored by the rest of the other council members, City Council.
Second.
So move.
Moved
Moved by Council President and second by Councilman Velez and.
Second.
And, yeah, you know what, do me a favor. Second by the rest of the municipal council.
That's not fair. I'm just kidding.
No, come on. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call on item number 28 for first reading. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilwoman Khan.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Madam President.
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 28 is hereby adopted on first reading. Second reading will be held at the next regular meeting of October 12, 2021 at 7 p.m.
Thank you very much. Council members, we have 3 items left. They are second reading, so we're going to open and close public hearings, okay? So, Madam Clerk, item number 1.
Yes, ma'am. Next item on the agenda is our second reading ordinances. Item number 1, public hearing is required. An ordinance vacating an easement at 361-367 Marshall Street, the city of Paterson, Passaic County, New Jersey, Public Works Ordinance 21037.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Velez and second by Councilman Mendez. The public hearing is now open for
See
item
no
number
move to
1 for
close.
second. Let me finish my sentence. Second reading. Seeing none, move to close by Councilman Mendez and second by Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the public hearing on item number 1 for second reading.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call to close the public hearing for item number 1. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Yes.
Councilman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Aye. Yes.
Madam President.
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Public hearing is now closed for item number 1.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Roll call on item number 1 for second reading approval.
Sure. Roll call on item number 1 for second reading. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilwoman Khan.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez.
Yes.
Councilman Mims.
Yes.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Madam President.
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 1 is hereby adopted on second reading.
Thank you very much, Madam
Yes,
Clerk.
ma'am.
Item number 2 for
Yes.
second reading?
Yes, ma'am. Next item is item number 2 for second reading. Public hearing is required. An ordinance establishing all-way stop control in the section of Hamilton Avenue and Summer Street. Department of Public Works Ordinance 21038.
So move.
Moved by Councilwoman Cotton and second by,
Second.
second by Councilman Mendez and Councilwoman Mims. The public hearing is now open on item number 2.
So you don't want to close?
Second.
Seeing none, move to close by Councilman Velez and second by Councilwoman Cotton. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the public hearing on item number 2.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call to close the public hearing for item number 2. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I've been waiting for this to come
Let's move to
through.
close.
Hamilton Avenue and Summer Street, a 4-way stop. Finally, because they're speeding from Straight Street all the way up to Carroll Street, and it's just unbelievable. But this is second reading, 21 days after this, then it goes into effect. Thank you, council members, for this. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Mendez.
Yes.
Councilman
Oh,
Mims.
that's what I'm.
Yes to close public portion.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Councilman Velez.
Close the public portion, yes.
Madam President.
Yes, and so Councilwoman, since you already said your speech, now we're going to do roll call, Madam Clerk.
The vote is 6 in favor,
Yeah.
3 absent. Public hearing is now closed on item number 2. Roll call on item number 2 for approval. Councilman Abdelaziz.
I'll speak for my colleague. She's been fighting for the 4th Ward for 30, 40, 50 years, and she has been advocating for this for many, many years. So I'm going to stand by her side and vote yes.
Thank you.
Is that good for
Councilwoman
Councilwoman?
Cotton.
Yep, thank you, council members. for this. This is really important. I have some more items coming up, but I just want to say thank you again. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Mendez?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
As the chairman of DPW, I take seriously the requests of my colleagues here, especially when it comes to pedestrian safety and safety in our roads. So my vote is yes.
Thank you. Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 2 is hereby adopted on second reading.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Last item on the agenda, item
Yes.
number 3 for
Yes,
second
Madam
reading.
President. Next item is item number 3 for second reading. Public hearing is required. An ordinance establishing all-way stop control intersection of Trenton Avenue and Michigan Avenue. Department of Public Works, Ordinance 21039.
Second.
Isn't that Al?
I say second on.
So moved, Council President.
Moved by Councilman Abdulaziz and second by Councilman Velez and Mendez.
Yes.
The public hearing is now open on item number 3 for second reading.
Move to close.
Second.
Move to close by Councilman Velez and second by Councilwoman Cotton. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the public hearing on item number 3.
Yes, ma'am. Roll call to close public and item number 3. Councilman Abdulaziz?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cotton?
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
Yes.
Madam President?
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. The public hearing is now closed for item number 3.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Roll call on item number 3 for second reading approval.
Yes. Roll call on item number 3 for second reading. Councilman Abdulaziz?
To the residents of the Lakeview section, to the parents of students that go to School 25, everyone knows that this intersection has been a constant pedestrian hazard safety issue for the residents and people that are driving. I'm glad that we're here today and our traffic engineer has approved my request. As many of you know, once we repaved Trenton Ave and pretty much repaved the entire Lakeview section, we've had many speeding cars. And Madam BA, we do need traffic to hit that section heavy because all the speeding that goes on, and Trenton Ave is a main artery. At one point, Trenton Ave had no stop signs, no lights, all the way from 22nd Ave to the border of Clifton. And once we repaved it, it became a speed zone. Now we have stop signs on Maryland, stop signs on Buffalo, and this one's going to be a great addition. I know, Council President, you've heard firsthand from the Quality of Life Committee members and many residents in that area. So within 21 days, as Councilwoman Cotton said, hopefully we'll have our stop signs there. And Madam BA, if we could put a flashing stop sign there, it'll be a tremendous asset. So, because there's a park, there's a school, and there's a business area. So my vote is yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilman Mendez?
Yes.
Councilman Mims?
Yes.
Councilman Velez?
There was a councilman in that area that never liked stop signs. At least this one is putting stop sign everywhere. I recall when I used to live in Michigan in Wabash, and I put forward, the four-way stop sign in that section, and that was about 20 years ago. So, once again, as the chairman of DPW committee, I take seriously when it comes out to pedestrian safety, especially the kids out with City of Paterson. So, and one of the things is I have to commend the recommendations and traffic study from Hang Chao regarding this work. Also, Madam BA, you know, the traffic division needs more employees, needs more personnel, because all the stop signs and all this curve, all the handicaps, all the painting, all that stuff that they need to put up. You know, today they knocked down the pole on 20th Avenue and Madison, and I hope the administration pursued the refund back and probably go directly to that division, because trust me, pole that they knocked down, sign that they knocked down.
Councilman?
Is money that they have to invest. Saying that, well, I have 2 minutes full vote. My vote is yes.
Madam President?
My vote is yes.
Thank you. The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. Item number 3 is hereby adopted on second reading.
Thank you. So,
Motion to
wait.
adjourn.
Council members, 1 second. Before I entertain a motion to close the meeting, I want to quickly remind you all that the council will be having its Hispanic Heritage Month celebration at the ending, which is October 15th at 5:30. Please, I believe the only person that has submitted, I saw the name was submitted by Councilwoman Mims first, and I submitted to legal and to Madam Clerk, my honoree, as well as the picture. Councilwoman Kai, you did it as well? Okay, so I don't know if Corporation Council has received the bio and everything, but with that said, tomorrow is the deadline. We need, in a timely fashion, to be able to have the legal department prepare all of the resolutions, then they have to be drafted, and then they have to be framed, okay? I will be also, there was something else I wanted to also say, for the record. I understand that there was, the gentleman who came before Mr. Sue, who was talking about litigation and so forth. I need to put on record, I understand that Councilman Jackson, was very adamant about moving forward with the motion, and I need to just put on record, Corporation Counsel did inform me that he spoke to Mr. Sue before he left, and Mr. Sue indicated they have not filed anything yet. So I think we were right in holding off in terms of trying to put a motion forward, but Corporation Counsel, let it be known, it's on record, that I also would like to see if we are able to be part of that litigation in support of, that is something that I would want to do, okay?
Council President?
1 second, I'm gonna allow you, because we're gonna close now, you can do your closing remarks as well, but I just, no, just wanna make sure that I cover in terms of the things that the council needs to do within the next day, okay? Program is being put together, and I'll be reaching out to you for support with that, and I'll explain what that means, in a meeting. I also wanna take the opportunity, to some of my colleagues, I've been meeting, with each one individually, and so I want to say thank you. I cannot say that or support me in something if I don't sit down and have a one-on-one and see what your needs and desires are. So, Councilwoman Ka, and you're next. We're going to Mr. G's. To me, you and I. Or no, actually, you don't like Mr. G's, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, anyway. Madam Clerk, thank you very much. Councilman Abdelaziz.
Thank you. Council President, to my council colleagues, if you could just indulge me with a couple minutes with this request I'm going to put on the floor, and someone will be reaching out to each one of you. Madam BA, Corporation Counsel, as all of us know that the Passaic Valley Water Commission, and because of Hurricane Ida, we've been under a boil water advisory for almost a month now.
Mm-hmm.
That is almost unheard of when it comes to anywhere. This is what third world countries go through, right? And this is something my constituents have reached out to me, and there's something that I've been in constant contact with the executive director of the Passaic Valley Water Commission, and there's a request that I put on the record last week, but I also want to put it in writing from my office. But I don't want to do it solo. I firmly believe when a service is not provided to you, you shouldn't pay for that service, right? The Water Commission bills our residents. They bill our residents. I think our residents just received a water bill. And I truly believe that the residents should be credited for the entire month of September. So the Passaic Valley Water Commission bills you quarterly, meaning for 3 months your water bill. We didn't receive the services for an entire month, so I feel your water bill should be cut 33%. And the executive director spoke to me, we spoke, and he said their CFO's looking at it, and they're having a meeting October 17th. October 17th, they're having a meeting, and I'm sorry if I may be wrong on the day, but at their next meeting, I want to hand them a letter stating this request, and I hope my council colleagues will sign on that letter. We'll draft it from my office. My staff will draft the letter. We'll send it out, and hopefully united, we could all sign on to that letter requesting for a credit for all our customers in the city of Paterson. I'm even thinking about reaching out to my colleagues in the city of Clifton and the city of Passaic, so we are jointly and united asking for a tax credit. And thank you, Council President, Corporation Council. I will send you our letter to make sure legally we're not stepping our bounds. I know we have, Council McCon is the chair of the board. I know I can't send it to her because of her role there, and I know they're discussing it, but I feel some sort of relief should be given to the residents for this month-long
Thank you.
disruption. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you very much. So
So
at this
moved.
time, I'd like to entertain a motion to close.
So moved.
So moved.
So I'm gonna get you
Moved by
now.
Councilman Mendez and second by Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the September 28th regular meeting.
Yes, Madam President. Roll call to close the regular meeting of September 28, 2021. Councilman Abdulaziz.
Thank you. Now my closing remarks for the 6th Ward. Council President, congratulations on being honored today by the County of Passaic and the
Thank you.
Board of County Commissioners. Truly well-deserved, and I was happy that they honored you for Hispanic Heritage
So
Month.
you knew?
I didn't get an invite, but I do watch my county government and make sure they're doing what's best for the residents of the 6th Ward in the city of Paterson. So
Thank you.
I saw you there. Congratulations. To the residents of the 6th Ward, primarily the People's Park section, please be patient. PSE&G is currently working the next couple days. They're milling and repaving our roads. I know they did the gas lines, but I'm happy to say that they are they connected the gas lines. Now they're working on the roads. Many of you are seeing curb to curb repaving, which is good. And some of the roads that are getting half resurfacing, I'm going to work with the administration to figure out a way that we could get the other half in the People's Park section. So more roads repaved in the 6th Ward. I want to thank PSE&G for getting on it as soon as possible and not keeping the roads bumpy and rocky, especially right before the winter season. On that note, everyone else, have a good night. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. For my colleague, and I had stated it at the last meeting, that I am the president of the Passaic Valley Water Commission, and we have talked about it, and we are going to be doing something for the residents of the city of Passaic. And Clifton only got 25,000 residents. They don't have as many as Paterson, or they don't have as many as Passaic. But we have, and I told my colleagues that we were doing something, and we just haven't had another meeting yet, because our concentration on is making sure that everyone were able to get water. Have you made any deliveries to anybody? But we want to make sure everybody was able to get water. Until we are able to get the system, the reservoir back on, we cannot do it as of yet. It has to be flushed out, but the goal is, and I gotta say that our mayor, Andre Sayer, has been working really closely. We're getting supermarkets to sign up for people who cannot make it to the distribution sites to pick up the water. They can go to one of the supermarkets and get the water that they need. You know, our OEM person is doing an excellent job of getting it out to our senior buildings. I have run across some people, handicapped people who are deaf and can't make phone calls, and they need to be able to get water. So for my colleagues here, don't think that we were not thinking about the residents of the city of Paterson, Passaic, and Clifton. We're working on it. But right now, we need to try to get that water reservoir back online so people do not have to boil water. So with that being said, I just want to remind you out there that I have changed my crime prevention through environmental design meeting from Thursdays to Monday, just for the month of October, November, December. We meet at the church at 153 Hamilton Avenue between Straight Street and Auburn Street. Also, I just want to say to the administration, and I said it to the DPW director, If we have to shut Family Dollar down on East 18th Street and Hamilton Avenue, that's what we need to do. Because it's awful, it's awful, it's awful. You ride through there every day, and every day is garbage, it's cardboard. I need for someone to put their foot to the metal, because it's sad how they keep that garbage out there on East 18 and Hamilton Avenue. It's just absolutely sad. I mentioned it to the director, but I need for you to look into something. When these businesses seems like they do not want to follow the rules and do what they need to do, we have to be able to figure out something to make it stronger so it affects them. Because to ride through there every day and to see that is just absolutely awful. And there's some other areas that really needs to be changed, but I need you to look into that Family Dollar, Hamilton Avenue and East 18th Street. Also, I want to say to Delwana Miller, she's having her brunch on October 9th from 11 to 3. She was one of the mothers who lost their children to violence, and she's honoring all mothers who have lost their children. So out of that, she started 2 organizations, and one is called I Am My Sister, and the other one is not up in here. So if you would like to attend her event, which is October 9th, please reach out to me, or you can reach out to Delwana Miller for the brunch that she's having on October 9th. Also, I want to say to you all out there, when the young lady spoke about community involvement and people coming together, it does make a difference on gathering with people and to help. And I always say to us all, we need to look out for each other. I know tonight was back to school night for the high schools. Thursday is back to school night for the grammar schools. I believe it's virtual, so parents, please, if you have some questions, you must attend these virtual meetings that they're having at the schools, or reach out to one of the board members. You have 9 of them. Please reach out to one of them if you have some concerns. Madam President, congratulations on you being honored. And as Councilman Al said, I didn't know either. No invite was sent out to all council members. And I always say, you know, when people have stuff in the community, I don't care what branch of government, everyone should get an invite. You know, then leave it up to me if I want to show up, if I don't want to show up. But everyone should be able to get an invite. So for all the community groups out there, when you do events, make sure you get invite to all council members, to administration. So you send it to the clerk's office and she makes sure that we get it. I know she does. She puts it in our package, she emails it us. And I want to thank Madam Clerk and her staff for just sending us information all the time of everything that she gets, she sends to us. And I want to say thank you, Madam Clerk, for doing that. So with that being said, everyone, God bless you all. Have a good night. You know how to reach me. You can reach out to me at any time. God bless you all. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you very much. Before you call on Councilman Mendez, just for the record, today was the first in-person meeting at the county since the pandemic. So
We look good.
I didn't even get the invitation. I actually got a call and then an email to say that I was being honored, and they did say that it was going to be limited. So you know, but I am totally with you, Councilwoman, especially when there are things that are part of the city that people do in the city and only certain council members get invited.
Yes.
Okay, perfect example was last week's BASL, their championship. Not everybody got invited. I didn't know anything about it until I saw pictures and I saw our lovely Councilwoman Mims there. I don't know who else was there, but I only saw your pictures. So, so you are correct. We need to do a better job in terms of when there's activities out there and we get some, you know, maybe share it amongst each other, but also, you know, through our clerk who definitely gets all the information to us. Thank you very much, Councilwoman.
Councilman Mendez?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So let me use my 2 minutes just to thank all the residents of the Third Ward for the continuing phone calls that I'm getting. So we're addressing quality of life when it comes to loud music in the Third Ward. I'm putting a great program together, and it's definitely working. So I believe that we cannot policing everything. Every time I hear from one of my residents that when they call the police, it takes 2 or 3 hours because of the amount of phone calls, the amount of calls and requests that we're getting in the police department. So So we're addressing that block by block, and I would like to thank all those residents that already called me, because this past weekend, there was a big change in those areas that we're constantly getting called for loud music. So thank you all. Also, all the residents on East 42nd Street, I received a few phone calls about some of the areas that are being closed, and I would like to let them all know that we're fixing the sewer, the catch base on the corner for the resurfacing of East 42nd, so just be patient on that. And also on that term, Madam Biano, is getting cold. We are by the end of September. East 17, East 31st, East 22nd, they're on the pipeline, they're on the list for this year to be fixed, and I haven't seen any action on that. I will give you a personal call tomorrow to have that conversation. I called Fred, the traffic engineer, and I had that conversation. So I'm very concerned that the weather is changing, and I haven't seen, those streets done, and they are on the list for now. So they are on the list. With that being said, also, just my final comment, I would really want to go back to the conversation that I had in the beginning. I know Councilman Rivera wasn't here. He's not here now. And I understand his point that, okay, we put the information out there when it comes to being on the bidding process and participate with the city. But something that I really wants to see in the city, and many other cities are doing that, when they have this type of project in the pipeline, millions of dollar project, they conduct those job fairs. They bring everybody to the table to make sure that they take full knowledge and take advantage of those projects. We're not doing that in the city. And that's when I'm talking about helping a local business, that's what I'm talking about. I know the potential that we have in the city. I know the amount of business that we have in the city, that they doing all kind of construction business outside the city, out of state. And I really want to see more participation in the city of Paterson from those companies that are already doing business in other cities. But we're not doing enough for them. It's not enough for them to let them, okay, this is how you participate. They don't know the type of job that we have on the pipeline, what projects coming. That's what I'm talking about. As a responsible administration, bring those companies to the table. Let everybody know. If you want to participate, you have full knowledge and full information. And that's what I'm expecting to see. So I'm looking forward to have that conversation with our corporation council. Let's continue to pray for our city, for our community, for the violence and for all the things that has been going on. To all my third ward residents and the entire city of Paterson, my cell phone number is 973-930-1436. And just thank you all for those calls. And I'm a phone call away from all of you. God bless you, Paterson. Have a good night.
My vote is.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilman Means. The nerve, right, Madam Clerk? I always forget to get my vote. But first of all, welcome back to Councilman Velez for being on vacation for a couple of weeks, my brother.
For me, it's an honor.
I miss tapping on the window. Giving you tap, tap. But welcome back to Councilman Velez. I want to give my heartfelt condolences to so many families in our community that are grieving. There are so many. To name one would be very dismissive to all of the families that are going through, whether it's just natural loss, tragedies, fatalities, just different situations that are going on. There are so many families that are grieving. I went tonight to a young man in our community, Mr. We call it a Maserati, but a volunteer who volunteered throughout the community and served our Bronze Heat organization, who passed away, and so many others, our young people who I know the parents very well, who passed away. Just so many people. We know Kamisha and her son, and there's just so many, but my heartfelt condolences to everyone. I want to say congratulations. I wasn't the only one at the BASL championship game, soccer championship. There were many, the mayor and so many sponsors and so many people, and Paterson Warriors won. So that was really, really awesome to see it, and to, be there to celebrate with our youth and those great organizers and managers that are managing to make sure that there are recreational opportunities for our youth in our community. Also, I want to thank everyone, Corporation Council, Director Powell, Councilwoman Cotton, Councilman Mendez, and so many other that came last Friday to my night out event. It was really, really awesome. There were so many other people that were there, but I want to thank you so much, Paterson, for your overwhelming support of coming out. We had a really great night of entertainment, dancing, and one of the things that I'm learning, because it's, it's the pandemic, that even as we're coming together in a social distancing format, it's almost still heartbreaking because there's so many people that are not in the midst of us because they're no longer with us. So every moment that you get to be around family, friends, loved ones, and no matter who the others are, please love while you can, because life is but a vapor and is very short. Also, Councilwoman Cotton talked about the event for our Queen Delwana. There's another event that Pastor Lagarde is having, a holiday celebration on Sunday, December 19th at the Leneves from 6 to 10 p.m. Please contact LeVar King for tickets. The tickets are only $30. The contact number is 201-899-9840. So please make contact to him, to our children in our schools as they're going back into that. What I've been doing is making visits and contact with different programs and asking different questions and just doing advocacy work on the side, not as an elected official for the school. They have their 9 school board commissioners, and that is their jurisdiction and their purview, but just in situations of parents that reach out, because I was a former school board commissioner, but never to overstep or to be in the purview of the commissioners or the superintendent of the schools. So I want to say to our students, continue to be safe. To our parents, please be safe. Continue to wear your mask, social distance. It's allergy season. In addition to that, it's about to break as the weather is changing. So make sure that you do what's in the best interest and love on everyone, because life is short. I'm going to keep saying that. Love we don't have time to hate. We really don't. We don't have time for negativity, gossip, lies, all that stuff, because I'm telling you, you never know who's going to leave here, and not tomorrow or next week, even tonight. Some people are not going to wake up in the morning. So I beg and I plead of everyone to stop the negativity and love while you can, because life is very short. God bless you, Paterson. I love you. It's just a pleasure serving this great community. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Velez?
There's a Bible scripture says that I don't know in Spanish, que la abundancia del corazón habla la boca. From the deep of the heart is that
The mouth speaks.
Speak, right? First of all, I just want to announce to my colleagues, Dr. Lisa Mins, Ruby Cotton, and Michael Jackson, that tomorrow we have a statutory committee meeting at 1 o'clock with the Housing Authority, Parking Authority, the Municipal Court, and Library. So hopefully at 1 o'clock we could be here. There's a lot of topics that we need to address with them. Second, I want to thank my council president, Marissa Davila, my secretary. Oh my God, she was with emails, and she does a great job, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a round of applause to Jennifer Cejas, but give it the round of applause, come on. Also to my Madam Clerk and Sophia, the staff of the council members is incredible. You could sit back sometimes and say, they got it covered. Council President, thank you for your leadership in taking care of the cause of my constituent, the 5th Ward, and those council members that like to cross the border, thank you too, for taking care, because the 5th Ward is the heart of Paterson. I'm in the middle of every ward, so I don't get jealous if they have to cross one street or other to take care of the concern of the constituent. We all want I erased that part. We are Paterson. So that part is taken care. I receive a lot of calls. Probably some council members who also receive. We take pride in taking water to the senior buildings. We take pride in that. But we have seniors renting houses that they don't have a car. They don't have no kids to go pick up the water. They have handicaps. And you know which one I'm talking about, from Mill Street all the way down, they address it. If you have a number, please, administration, that people could call and they could deliver that water. And don't expect that 5 people, 6 people that live in the house, you're gonna give them 1 case of water. Remember that, it's 5, 6 people there, so they're gonna drink more water than one senior only. So to try to see if that number is public, for they could make that call and they could get their water. A nice announcement, Cafecito Restaurant and Banquet Hall is coming to the 5th Ward, okay? There was a big competition, which ward was better. They find out that if the 5th Ward is beeping right, everybody's gonna eat correctly. So Cafecito is opening the 5th Ward on 27 Park Avenue, opening soon, so stay tuned. I'm happy that Mr. Daniel Cabrera, Director of Public Safety of Prospect Park, and his wife, Esita Cabrera, decided to open a Cafecito Restaurant and Banquet Hall in the 5th Ward, and I'm happy that that they are doing that. Last but not least, I was out, but I was in here, Paterson. So in other words, I could be whatever in the world, and I could always be here. I have passion to serve no matter where or where I'm at the time. But one thing I gotta say is, and please don't take it for offense. Every time, and I was watching meetings all over, every time we criticize the administration, we have to be careful how we criticize the administration. Because behind the administration, you have a purchasing agent, you have a director of health, you have a director of public works, you have a legal director, you have directors and divisions. And probably the mayors know what he's doing sometimes, but they all know what they have to do. And probably they carry the back of the problems of Paterson, and we have to be careful how we go to criticize a administration. That's why I don't generalize. If I have a problem with a division, I go to that division. If I have a problem with the mayor, I go directly to the mayor and mention his name. We could have yes and no. But one thing is that I commend all the employees that has a responsibility in the city of Paterson to carry 150% the administration responsibility. And I commend those individuals like Harry Savalos. Harry Savalos is an individual that knows the procurement process, knows the bidding process. There's a lot of people that don't qualify to bid in the city of Paterson. So don't take it offense. I just want to make that comment. Nothing. Let's keep on working. I'm going to keep on continue working. The residents in the 5th Ward, you see that there's a lot of milling of street and paving in the 5th Ward. If you see the roadblock, is because you asked for resurface in the 5th Ward. So, saying that, once again, you could keep on calling my secretary. She will deliver the message. Thank you, Jennifer.
Councilman?
Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. If you want to see a great show, come on the 15th. I will be singing that night. Just kidding. God bless you. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, so just quickly, because, there was some stuff that was mentioned, and I need to, first and foremost, just to the BA, I really want to say thank you to Director Joel Ramirez from the Health and Human Services Department, as his staff has been delivering to senior buildings. In addition, I believe that the Irma Gorman has been doing her buildings, and the Passaic Valley Water Commission has put a number out. Obviously, the customers affected by the boil water advisory issued on September 2nd, they can call the hotline, which is 862-304-6232. Okay, so that's for anyone who has been set up for the elderly or the homebound customers. That number is for them, and it's Monday through Friday. They can call from 7:30 in the morning till 6:30. Okay? Information about self-pickup water distribution sites can be found at the Passaic Valley Water Commission.com website. So I wanted to just put that on record because I know if anyone follows the Director of Health and Human Services, you see all the work that he's been doing in just 2 months that he's been here in terms of vagrancy, homelessness, but even the distribution of food today and water over by the I believe it was the the Boys and Girls Club in the 6th Ward, all right? Once again, council members, very important that tomorrow is the deadline. I'm going to keep pounding on you guys because we will not be able to print a program if we don't have the information on time, and also Corporation Counsel and his team needs to do what they need to do to get us all resolutions together. Be mindful that the majority of the council has agreed on the dates for the budget hearings. Okay, so Madam Clerk will be now advertising for it.
Sure.
Our first one, Madam Clerk, is October 14th. So that is the day before our event. Please, council members, let's try to get here early on that day, on Friday, 5:30, okay? Madam Clerk, I've made some adjustments to the flyer for Hispanic Heritage. I will give it to you now, so each council member can be emailed, and that way they can move forward for distribution, okay? I think that's about it for now. Thank you to my colleagues. Thank you, Paterson. God bless you. Good night. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The vote is 6 in favor, 3 absent. The regular meeting of September 28, 2021 is hereby adjourned.
Thank you
Good
very
night,
much.
everyone. Thank you.